All right, welcome in, welcome in. We are live back for a Tuesday night. Of course, thanks to everybody that joined us last night during the National Football game. Do we still have to say congratulations to Indiana? It's been 24 hours. I don't know what the time frame for congratulations is, but hopefully Bryce Underwood is in the lab right now, getting ready to 2026, getting ready to compete for the opportunity to, dethrone the Hoosiers, dethrone Curt Cignetti, and see what happens there. And, it's a good thing that Bryce Underwood is in the lab. That's the place you want to be these days in college football. It seems like everybody else is in the transfer portal, but including, Mendoza, not Fernando. Alberto? Indiana's losing Alberto. Shout out. I don't know. I think he's going to, was it Georgia Tech? Did I see that right? Were we cruising ESPN? Did I see the news right there? I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. Again, I guess shout out for the great season is in order, but now they're on top. Now they're on top of the college football game. Pause. It is what it is. So it's a different position, chat. When you're on top, when you're being the hunted, or instead of the hunter, the underdog team, and again, they will be turning over quite a big group of guys, but that's not how it works in college football. It is the institutions that become the dynasties. But if, of course, it's the professional sports, it does become a little bit more tied to the direct athletes. I mean, you can, of course, get the little bit of continuation. It is rare, and I would say really has never happened. I would say maybe, San Antonio was really close there, with Kawhi, and in some ways that continuation, of course, did happen because he was Finals MVP that last time they did win it. But again, still surrounded by that the last version of that dynasty with that core, with the the big three there, of course. But maybe the Celtics with going from Bill Russell to Cowens back in the day as kind of seamless. But because even from I guess the Lakers had they had Vlade Divac in between Kareem and Shaq, so that's a pretty good run. Shout out to Divac. Divac is was he on some All NBA teams back in the day? Again, the man could put up some points, so that's still sustainable. If that's the starting, that's not going from Manning to Luck at the starting quarterback, but that's still you have a starter there. And that's like drafting. If they had just drafted Phillip Rivers at that next year and had gone 11-5 or something like that. But the again Cignetti there, the institution of that, and him being the guy that has turned that program around, and seeing what he is able to, of course, accomplish with turning over that roster and actually being that program. Because that's what obviously separated Saban from the rest of these guys, and even the guys in college football now that have been those top guys have kind of, I guess, would we say that Kirby Smart has struggled to keep up a good roster? Again, he's a top 7 team every year, so he's right there. It is kind of still, maybe it is, there is more guys in the mix now as well too. Pause, because again, there is that changeover. We wouldn't say that, thinking it out as well too here, you wouldn't say that Kirby Smart has necessarily against, you could argue the specifics, and obviously maybe Georgia quarterbacks, there's probably a conversation that could be had there. But again, in terms, if we're looking at the other, what I guess include special teams, 30 some spots in the field, you can't do math, but again, Kirby Smart still has great teams. Obviously, we hate to do it, but we got to give State their, Ohio State their credit. We got to give Ryan Day his credit. Again, Ryan Day has one national title. Fortunately, his one struggle the last couple of years has been against Michigan. We'll see. If that continues. Obviously, I'm not saying the clock struck midnight on the Michigan run against Ohio State in the 21st century here, but we could, we'll just see what happens. Obviously with Whittingham, there is some, again, it's good competency. We love to see it, and maybe the organization will, being a step up for him, will just give him an opportunity to succeed like he never had in Utah. We were looking at undefeated teams. He had one back in the day, so again, there is that legacy there, but. Again, Day has recruited consistently year to year. He has brought the teams in, and even Dabo did do it as well too. He won titles with Deshaun Watson. He won with Trevor Lawrence, and there was different versions of the defense there as well too. And Klubnik was still a guy. Klubnik was still a recruit. I know that again, maybe the situation the last couple of years hasn't worked out, and I think again, it maybe is a conversation in terms of Dabo as well too, adapting to modern college football. And that's again a very if you're not adapting, that's obviously a very real issue there. But again, from a recruiting standpoint, if he's focusing on that, he still has been able to get some names in there as well too, like we're saying, in the important positions. So I don't know, again, maybe he's not on the tier of those guys as we speak, but as a guy who was there at one point in the game contending for that top team, and as a potential timeline of obviously if Kurt Cignetti turned this Indiana program into the Clemson team of the 2010s, then obviously already now it's the best version of Indiana, but that is a college football dynasty in a sense, and that is like a great again, college football institutional moment for that program, for them to be able to have a run like that if they were to be able to do that. But, again, obviously the levels of, is he going to be Saban now? What's the timeline for how long this dominance is going to happen? And, obviously, at Indiana as well, too, who knows what the timeline is there for him at that school. But, hopefully, like we're saying, hopefully the NIL crews over at Michigan are gearing up and ready to spend, chat. You got to spend. It is what it is. Because, like we said, we saw Cuban at that game. We were like, okay, Cuban, shout out, funding another championship team makes sense. So we need another. I think we have a couple billionaires, but we need, I guess, the players as well too. I think we're good there. The coach, hopefully, we're good there. We'll see. And again, obviously, Bryce Underwood is, and it is in college as well too. You go for the NFL when you talk about drafting guys in and being in the right situation in terms of, developing talent. And what is that, what is the percentage of just a guy versus the situation that he's in terms of how their careers play out. And, college might be even more extreme for that. And, again, you would assume that Bryce Underwood going to Michigan would be a good quarterback situation for him. But we'll see. And, again, Whittingham's had good quarterbacks as well, too. So I assume that he's still able to gear the team around what would be successful with Bryce Young there. But, it is going to be, like we're saying, is it more in the Klubnik lane, or is it more, in like where Day has had success with his guys, year in and year out, being able to get the production there. But, speaking of Michigan, speaking of Indiana, we do have a chance to, I guess, can we humble the Hoosiers already? Because Michigan basketball, the men's Michigan basketball is playing Indiana tonight. It is a home game for Michigan, so a little, I guess, an advantage there. But on the season as well too, looks like, I mean, we're not going to say they're in a different class, because then immediately Indiana's going to storm back. It is what it is. But and one, so that's going to push it to 18. Michigan now up by 18. They've just been going to Mara in the post, and he's just been lighting them up. It is what it is. The drop step, Chad, he's going to his right, starting like baseline into the paint. It's unstoppable. Hey, yo, how did this guy not go to Purdue? I mean, we're glad to have him here. Maybe, is he still not quite tall enough for Purdue? I'm not sure. You got to be like, is that the college that Wemby actually would have gone to if he had gone to NCAA for a season or something like that? If he had followed in the path of, if it would have been Zach Edey, Isaac Haas, and who were the guys before that? AJ Hammond. There's another guy, I feel like a 7-footer in that group of guys. Oh, Harms is maybe the most recent one. And they might even have another guy in there right now as well, too. Pause. But, I think Wembanyama might have been a potential... He might have been a Boilermaker, chat. Hey, yo. And, Duncan as like a demon deacon. Again, not everybody goes to Duke. There is a, Durant, I guess they're playing, Wemby's playing Durant tonight. Durant, Texas, is that a small program for college basketball? I'm not sure about that, but again, not Duke. It is what it is. So Cignetti, like we're saying, the Duke of college football. Shout out. And I mean, college basketball hasn't really had its Saban, or they did have it Saban. It was Coach K. They haven't necessarily had their Coach K since then as well too. And obviously that's going to just take time for a guy to even have that type of legacy. It does help, for Cignetti that he is, at a little more respectable part in his career as well too. Because again, like a guy like Dan Lanning. If Dan Lanning had won the national title this year, and that's obviously something that could have very well happened, could happen in the next couple of years. Like, again, he could very well be at any point, if he continues to ascend, the best current coach in college football. We're not saying that that's not a possibility, but a little younger, maybe you would think, again, it's like, oh, could he still even, like, what's the run gonna be for him as a head coach? And again, still have obviously those questions for Cignetti as well too. Hey, yo, but I think maybe, again, he can be fast-tracked a little bit more for the legacy stuff as well, too. Like, it does feel like, And, it's obviously a really impressive job that he did as well, too. Like, is it a better coaching job, and again, in a single season than any of the other names that we mentioned? Hey, would we take Kurt Cignetti over Ryan Day any day? Shout out. Again, obviously, if Cignetti was doing that at Ohio State, it'd be a different story. But, to immediately, again, have him over some of those guys where there has been a consistency there year to year. And I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that it is maybe it's more that class. Is he in that class where, he has the belt right now? Again, it's a great job, and he does have that presence about him as well too, to be like the face of the league in a sense. And I guess, like we're saying, from a college sports standpoint, I mean, you do have athletes that when they cross into the sport, do become the face of the league. Obviously being in Iowa, the first one you think of is Caitlin Clark when, her run over there, and still obviously in the W. But, in the college sports, it does seem to be obviously more the coaches themselves that do become the actual faces of the sport. And those are the ones that are the consistent presences year to year. And, he is the guy that has ascended in that type of way. And when you're looking at the NBA for that stuff as well too, again, hey, not to be biased, obviously our guy Wembanyama is closing in, chat. It is what it is. And they need to get this game started. Houston, what's going on with the rims? Oh man. And we're still 15 minutes away from getting this fixed. I don't know. You may not know. I mean, I guess if you play basketball enough, maybe if you work with rims, chat. What are we talking about? Pause. Are we talking about the Bella Danger scene at the college football championship game? Was it a scene? I don't know. But if you play enough, if you play enough hoops, if you're on enough different courts, you might get in a situation where you have to make a little bit of a repair or something like that. I guess, ladder access and stuff like that in a court can be a little bit difficult. You might just have to like shimmy up and, jump up, grab the net. I guess, spoiler alert, we're not quite at a full jump up and grab the rim quite yet. It is what it is. Are we unathletic, chat? We might be. I feel like we should just, it's right. It's like you look at it, it's just like right there. You should just be able to jump up and grab it super easily. Pause. But apparently it's a little bit more difficult to dunk a basketball on a basketball hoop than on a type of basketball hoop than it seems. But they've still got it like twisted down to the right. Like this is a while for it. He had the level out, and then it looked like he was leveling it, and then it was like, no, that's not right, and just like retwisted it back down. And I have literally no idea what he's doing with this. But there was a time where, and I shout out to the champ as well too. There was a time where, when we worked over the trampoline park, the basketball hoop broke at one point, and I forget exactly the repair we had to make on it, but we did. I remember we had to take the whole unit down, pause, and disassemble it and try to fix something. And it was a pretty decent repair. Again, it was a good. I'm glad we figured it out type of situation. So I'm not saying that we have experience repairing NBA basketball hoops, but I don't know. I feel like if you get me and the champ out there on this thing, I feel like we might have had it fixed by now. We might have had it good to go. And we're not trying to take any jobs over here. It is what it is. I'm just saying that, do they host the live stream for a night and then we have to go be the maintenance guys for the Rockets game? That could be a fun switch. It wasn't necessarily something that we thought about going into 2026, but that could be fun. And Marcus Freeman in Houston at the Rockets game. Oh, shout out. Talking to Bismack Biyombo on the side. Is he talking? No, I think he's talking to a Rockets coach. Never mind. Bismack Biyombo wearing he's in a quarter zip. Shout out. He does check in every now and then, but hey, yo, but Marcus Freeman, a busy man. He was in Miami last night doing TV for the national title game. Now he's sidelined at a Rockets game. Rockets Spurs. He has to watch Wembanyama. Is that what it is? Is he from Houston? I mean, we don't have to assume that. I assume that is that the best closest NBA city? I mean, Rockets Spurs is a pretty great game as well. Is this all the games for tonight right here? These 6? So, you go to Golden State, Utah, Chicago, Philly, Houston, or Denver. Yeah, it would be the close. I think the Lakers are playing tonight as well too, maybe. Or is it that Denver game that's the primetime game after this Lakers or after this Spurs? Sacramento. Oh, if they were playing in Miami, I mean, that would have been would you still have gone to the Spurs Spurs Rockets. I don't know. Are you staying in Miami to watch the Kings? But watch Norm Powell, watch Bam Adebayo. That'd be a lot of fun. Oh, the Lakers are playing. They're playing the Nuggets. That's what it was. Okay, shout out. But yeah, Golden State as well too. So yeah, the Sacramento game they had decided not to list. They didn't feel the need. But yeah, that makes sense. You know, it's probably not too far. I guess, you know, pretty easy Google search. I'm sure for, you know, Marcus Freeman, I'm sure the flight, I'm sure it's, you know, pretty manageable. It is what it is. And, you know, you get to see in rivalry week a high level matchup. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So, and you love to see him just being at, you know, it's fun to just when sports people just like sports as well too. Like, it's not really even, you know, we're not even in football or anymore or anything. It's just like, he's just going to go watch a basketball game. Shout out. He's having a good time. Marcus Freeman, call in. I guess not, you know, he's sidelined right now, but there's still delay. I mean, we're going to a Mercy trailer now. I don't know. Are they showing this in the arena? They might be. Do they start showing Mercy the movie in the arena if the repair takes too long? Maybe, I don't know. But you know, is that the one that you want to see from this week? Is there a couple this weekend? When's the Rachel McAdams movie drop? Did that already drop? I'm not sure. When's that on streaming? Hey, yo, Sam Raimi directing Rachel McAdams? I mean, you know, that could be a fun movie. Dylan O'Brien in you can't say a return, but does seem like hasn't been in a ton of trailers over the last couple of years. And of course, you do get, at some point, it feels like, you know, if you're watching enough TV, watching enough trailers, maybe even just the algorithm as well too, you know, if it's something that you're clued into, you know, if the YouTube knows to send you trailers, and, you know, obviously it's going to be something you're going to get. But I feel like you can still, you know, see enough of the smaller independent films that do have those type of things, you know, the trailers and stuff made up for them, and, you know, have some type of general public release to them. But and I feel like that's where he's been operating. I guess we could pull up his IMDb and see what type of movies he's been up to the last couple of years. But he is one of those guys that it does seem like everybody, you know, that's just like fans of movies, people that talk about movies. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard a bad review of Dylan O'Brien. And again, hey, yo, we're not looking for one. I'm just saying, you know, and it's like, okay, well, there, you know, another good word for Dylan O'Brien. Shout out. So you assume at some point that is gonna, you know, mean opportunities. That's gonna mean, you know, I'm assuming he lands the right role, and he's talented as well too. And I haven't thought about it in a while, but he is in that one movie. We might have to go to the IMDb now. Shout out Dylan O'Brien, getting a little IMDb research on the live stream. It is what it is, but he was in that one Assassin. Is it just called Assassin? It might be, or maybe it's American Assassin. Bob Dylan's discography. Dylan Thomas. So, you know, a couple of different options there. Dylan O'Brien. Oh, here we go. I guess Dylan O's is played Deepwater Horizon Explosion. Oh yeah, in Deepwater Horizon. Okay, I guess how many movies has the Deepwater Horizon Explosion been featured in? Not one that we've seen as well too. Hey yo, Wahlberg. Do we need to have a Wahlberg run? Voice the titular character in Bumblebee. Oh, so he is in the trailer. Hey yo, you know the voice roles are always a interesting thing for the popularity like that. I mean, yeah, if we're going back, Maze Runner, of course, the initial burst onto the scene. But yeah, American Assassin, 2017. That movie's pretty fun. Michael Keaton. Oh, Sanaa Lathan's in this? Oh, Chet. Hey, yo. Is it streaming anywhere? I remember we watched this back when it dropped, but I have not seen it since. You know, shout out again, like Dylan O'Brien, you know, is definitely somebody that I feel like we could have the IMDb run for. And I guess it's still at this point, maybe it is him accumulating more of maybe, again, the types of movies that we would just be randomly throwing on as well too. Where even a movie like, you know, again, like shout out to the Maze Runners, you know, I'm sure they're great, but they're not really movies that I go back to a ton at this point. It is what it is. I guess, yeah, Teen Wolf as well too, played in that show. Shout out. But wait, oh, and he's in Infinite? I've been eyeing this one. I feel like I threw this on and maybe just didn't pay attention. But speaking of Wahlberg, another Wahlberg, Dylan O'Brien and Wahlberg, is that the new De Niro Pacino? But this is one of the recent Fuqua movies. I know this was on Netflix. I guess it's on Pluto right now. I guess as we just cruise around IMDb here, it is what it is. We're looking for American Assassin. What was that? 2017. Yeah, here we go. Bumblebee 18. I gotta add it to the watch list on my phone. So we just gotta look it up straight on the source. It is what it is. Oh, it's not streaming anywhere. We're gonna have to rent it. We're gonna have to wait. It is what it is. And I feel like good action scenes. There was definitely like the Dylan O'Brien's getting in shape for a role type of buzz, which is all part of, I think, the movie star. Do the studios just want to see what you're capable of? And it's just like, okay, kind of a little bit more of a, is this a B tier? It's definitely supposed to be a B tier movie. I mean, I'm not going to call it a C tier movie. Hey, yo, I don't know if that is that an industry term for something else? I'm not sure. But, Chad, they've officially obviously it's been delayed. But, hey, yo, what's the official delay? Is that like a lightning delay? If you delay it for a basket repair, immediately now it's just a 30-minute break or something like that? I don't know. But, yeah, what are they doing, Chad? What are they doing? I mean, I'm not trying to question their expertise. This is what they're around rims all the time. Hey, yo, I thought he just I thought he was celebrating. He just made like a motion, like pause, like something like this. But I guess, you have to watch the live stream to figure it out. But he just made a motion that looked like it could have been like a celebratory fist pump. Like a Tiger Woods just made like a clutch putt celebration. He's like, yes, finally we got it fixed. Or Aaron Rodgers as well, too. Aaron Rodgers with the kind of the old man fist pump. I don't know what it's called, but maybe, speaking of fisting, hey, what are we talking about? Hey, speaking of rims, the old man fist pump. Oh, Jesus, Chad. Now we're tripping over our own words. What's he doing? Now he's just dunking on the rim at this point. Hey, yo, I think we might have it fixed. He's going back down the ladder. Giannis is going to show up out of nowhere. The Spurs might trade for him right now, and then he's going to push over the ladder. I still don't really remember exactly why he was trying to take practice shots, and they had the ladder out. I still, maybe that was just a two wrongs don't make a right situation. I'm not sure, but there we go. We're taking the equipment off the court. Is this official? Can we are we gonna get lined up for the tip off now? Hey, yo, shout out to the dancers as well too. I guess maybe some extra motivation for the guys fixing the hoop. I don't know why were they taking so long, chat? Hey, yo, I guess you gotta shout out, but. Hey, at least we're back. At least we're back. At least we're going. The Spurs, it's rivalry week, looking good in the Fiesta colorways. So this is hopefully gonna be a good playoff type of feel game, as these of course are two of the higher level teams in the Western Conference. But hey yo, send help, Dylan O'Brien, Bradley Preston, and then being human HEU. An upcoming American biopic, starring as Judith Human. Oh, Rudy Madeley. Ruth. Hey, yo, Ruth Madeley. We can't read, Chad. We can't speak. We can't read. It is what it is. Starring as Judith Human, alongside Mark Ruffalo, is an adaptation of the memoir with the same name, Being Human, an unrepentant memoir of a disability rights activist. Oh, okay. So this could be, is this going to be Oscar type stuff for Ruth Madeley? I guess I'm not knowing that actor by name, but maybe we would if we saw him in some stuff. But what was Dylan O'Brien? Anniversary last year, dystopian political thriller starring Diane Lane, Kyle Chandler, Zoe Deutsch, pretty stacked cast there, and Twinless, American psychological black comedy film written and directed by James Sweeney. Stars Dylan O'Brien, Sweeney himself as well, and then a cast of names that I guess we're maybe not too familiar with. And that one maybe looks a little bit more in the independent route. And maybe 24 as well too. Ponyboy, Saturday Night, and Kato. Oh, Saturday Night's that Saturday Night. Oh, he's Dan Aykroyd in the Saturday Night Live movie. Dylan O'Brien is Dan Aykroyd. Hey, yo. This is another one I guess we need to add to the watch list as well, too. I don't remember hearing, like, rave reviews about it. So, that unfortunately is what it is, for killing the vibe of the time. We can't spoil the what happens on the SNL show, chat. Hey, yo, the SNL movie. Does the show make it? I guess, is it based around season 52, 51? I don't know. But what do you got? Gabriel LaBelle, Lauren Michaels. We're reviewing the cast a year later. Rachel Sennott as Rosie Schuster, Corey Michael Smith as Chevy Chase. Is he the Riddler in the Batman series, in the Gotham series? Ella Hunt as Gilda Radner, Dylan O'Brien, Dan Aykroyd Emily Farron, Lori Newman, Belushi. Do they have Norm Macdonald? Rest in peace. Do they have him casted? Hey, yo. I don't know if they do. Batiste as Billy Preston making an appearance. Willem Dafoe as Dave Tebbutt. At some point, when did the actors... It's like the actors started as people playing more famous people, and now it's just people playing less famous people. At what point is it like Willem Dafoe's playing who in this movie? David Tebbutt? Is this like a writer? I guess we can't be... is he like the original announcer? American theater publicist, networking... Oh, maybe not. Just like an executive. Early in his career, a press agent for Your Show of Shows, starring Sid Caesar. Oh, should we know that, chat? Sid Caesar, a television legend from back in the day. Paul Rust as Paul Schaefer. Tracy Letts as Herb Sargent. Shout out Tracy Letts. Shout out The Big Picture. Matthew Reyes as George Carlin. Oh, Carlin also as well. Recipes. Milton Berle. J.K. Simmons as Milton Berle. How'd they get that casting right, Chad? Hey, yo. I mean, I thought... Is that clip... Because there's that clip of J.K. Simmons making that joke about... Hey, yo, was it to Chevy Chase in the show? To Corey Michael Smith's character? I don't remember. We might have to pull up the clip now. One of the most brutal... Paul has the most brutal comebacks that you're going to get. But, Milton Berle, iconic for many, many reasons. So I don't know what the J.K. Simmons, what was the audition? Well, hey, yo, it is what it is. But, shout out. Obviously, a stacked cast. I guess maybe it's focused on the early days as well, too. I guess it didn't, cut to the 90s for people. But that would be, I guess at some point they'll have to make an SNL movie about the 90s, because they're going to make a trilogy, right? Everything's a trilogy now. So is Saturday Night is the next... It's like Friday. They can make it... they can steal that title sequencing for sure. But, somebody's, I guess, going to at some point. But you could go Saturday night, next Saturday night, the Saturday night after next. I don't know what it goes there. But live from... You could go Saturday night, live... Or, just live it's Saturday night, live from New York it's Saturday night. Maybe that's even a little bit more confusing. I'm not sure, but we need a trilogy. You get SNL in the... When's this set? Okay, I guess spoiler alert, it is going to be 75. So is it just kind of... You just go vaguely every 10 years? 75, 85, 95? And 05 as well, too, is obviously pretty stacked. So, you could get that fourth one in there. But then once you get the fourth one, it's like, oh, are we going back for the second trilogy? Are we going to get 5 and 6 as well, too? Are we going to get, a 15 and a 25? A movie about 2025 SNL? I guess maybe that's the SNL 50. So, yeah, maybe. Hey, yo, there we go. I hit, NBC Peacock. We just gave you 6 movies right there. That's a decade. That's 15 years of IP. We just laid out. Easy. Done. Light work. Just on a Tuesday night on the Rem and Sam live stream. Just 6 more. You know what we did? We did what they do in Hollywood nowadays. They said that movie was pretty good. Let's make 5 more of them. That's how we're gonna fill the slate, I guess, these days. But yeah, maybe do we have to cast the SNL 85 movie as well too? That could be pretty fun. Obviously, is Murphy wasn't there a long time, but he would have been there. Or would that have been right around that he left? Because Cop was in 84, right? So was he on SNL when he did Beverly Hills Cop? Or had he left by now? I guess by then. We'll see what it is. Eddie Murphy behind Eddie Van Halen on the Wikipedia results? Hey, yo. I don't know. Eddie Murphy also had a #1 hit. I don't know if Eddie Van Halen had the movie career that Eddie Murphy had. So I don't know where the equal stuff is there, but SNL, where is it at here in the career? 80s superstar, early 80s was earned for national attention on SNL. Shout out. When did he leave SNL? By 86, he launched Eddie Murphy Television Enterprises, appeared in Best Defense in 84. 82, 48 Hours was in 82. Delirious, Eddie Murphy Raw in 87. Ooh, chat, look at this. We're going to get all these dates locked in. Shout out. We're going to be ready for the next quiz. It is what it is. I guess it's not, for some reason, it's not saying as SNL years. I don't know. But here, we just go cast. They might have a graph. Don't they have do they have a graph? Does anybody know the Wikipedia page for SNL? I have seen it. Maybe I've seen it as post where they have it graphed out with all the cast members and their time spent. Here, cast and crew, list of Saturday Night Live cast members. We don't need to be doing this much work for the studios to just go ahead and cast this movie as well. Fred Armisen. Okay, wait. LMNOP. We can't miss it now. So Murphy. Where's he at? Eddie Murphy, Minor, Murphy, Mitchell, Moffat, Maurer, Mooney, Morgan, Morris. Oh, here we go. Murphy. Oh, he left in 84. Okay, Eddie Murphy, Bill Murray in 80, 77 to 80. So yeah, 84. So I guess in the 85, if we're setting it in 85, then you'd have to set it in 84. I think the show tanked right after he left. I think it was bad before he left, or before he was there as well too. So who else was? Piscopo, Belushi, Crystal. Oh, Christopher Guest was there in 84 and 85. Rachel, when was Downey there? Downey was there early as well. Oh, Dreyfus was there. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was there in 85. Shout out. Martin Short in 85. Yeah, this is stacked. Joan Cusack in 85 and 86. Downey in 85 and 86 as well too. So yeah, can we go the 11th season of SNL, or we want 84? Oh, yeah, it's can we fake history? Can we do an alternate timeline where Downey is in 84? It's just like MCU Saturday Night Live crossover, and then Cusack and Anthony Michael Hall, Randy Quaid. Hey yo, we have to cast Randy Quaid in this. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, Piscopo. So wait, what do we got? Respiratory players. Hey yo, Belushi, Crystal. It's like a roster. It's like athletes. Belushi, Crystal, Gross, Guest, Hall, Kroger, Dreyfus, Scherer, Short, and Pamela Stevenson. Wait, so where's this was 84, 85. Where's Eddie Murphy at? So this is 84, 85. Oh, this is the season. During the season, Eddie Murphy left mid-season. Oh, okay, so he would have been. Is that the drama? I don't know. I guess we don't want to make a movie about Eddie Murphy leaving SNL. Hey, yo, we want him in the movie for a lot of it. Yeah, so this we get Belushi, Robin Duke, Mary Gross, Brad Hall, Tim Kirkchin, is that the baseball writer? Gary Kroger, Julie Dreyfus, Eddie Murphy, and Joe Piscopo. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a pretty, again, for the casting that was obviously pretty good back then as well too. Maybe better over time as well. I guess you would go back and watch 84 episodes to see how good they were. I'm assuming, again, Julia Louis-Dreyfus was really great on SNL back then, and you're still getting, Jim Belushi back in the day as well too. Oh, and Piscopo and Brad Hall were the Weekend Update anchors as well. So and then if we go to the 90s cast, where you're getting, like we're saying, Norm, Sandler, Carvey's there in 86. Ooh, so if you did 86, 85. Oh, Dennis Miller's there in 85 as well too. Hey, yo. You've got Chris Rock, Phil Hartman, rest in peace, Rob Schneider, Sarah Silverman there for a season. Do you go 93, 94 to cast a Sarah Silverman? I'm not sure. Al Franken in 88. Chris Farley, 95 is his last season, rest in peace. Kevin Nealon as well too, 95. David Ketchner, if we're saying the last name right, there for a season. Hey, yo. I guess we didn't realize he was on SNL for a season. Shout out. But David Spade, of course. Jim Brewer, Norm. Tim Meadows. Hey, yo. Tim Meadows. I don't know why, but I feel like Tim Meadows, we just let Tim Meadows play Tim Meadows in the show. That'd be fun. But Chris Kattan in 96. Tracy Morgan. Fallon. Okay, so yeah, I think we can, keep it to the mid-90s. It is what it is. I mean, that'd be a great movie as well, too. So there we go. Look out for theaters for the new SNL movie. And then we get a Colin Jost and Michael Che casting in the 2025 one. Could be fun as well. Kenan Thompson. He's still there, chat? Hey, yo. We had the Good Burger auto playing on YouTube today. So that was fun. And you know what? We were like, it's that perfect time period to, for where we're going to work. And we didn't know if we would switch it and watch something else, and we were like, we'll just keep it on. It is what it is. Yeah, Sinbad's in that. Shout out. I guess we'll have to keep watching it after that. Oh, we'll have to get to the Shaq cameo. We didn't get to the Shaq cameo because he had just discovered the secret whatever situation. So we don't have this one memorized. Hey, yeah, we'll have to watch this one a couple times so we can quote it word for word it is what it is. But what else, IT, what else are we doing tonight? Hey, yo. Oh, we're playing basketball finally. Spurs, and the Spurs are losing. I think the rim's still broke, chat. Was the rim broke on the Spurs side? Do we need to check the footage of all the times the guy pulled on it? Pause. Hey, yo, whoa. What are we checking? Maybe is this another Abella Danger thing? I'm not sure. But Castle, there we go. The mid-range right over Kevin Durant ties it up. So, again, we hope the intensity as well too. The Spurs need to, the testing. They still need the growth as a team. Pause. Ayo. But as many of the high moments that you can be pushed by these other teams and these other veterans as you can. Obviously, even before the playoffs, is going to be beneficial. And we love how much coverage the haircuts or the lack thereof is. If you shave your head, is that is a haircut, but then have you crossed over to where it's no longer a haircut, or is it the ultimate haircut? I'm not sure. Let us know. Is a buzzed head a haircut or not a haircut? Is it like is a hot dog a sandwich type of situation? Is it probably, like what are the qualifications, right? Like a couple slices of bread and you got, pause, like something in the middle, like, Ayo, but it definitely checks the boxes. But if you eye test it, you're like, okay, something is still a little bit different here. So I don't know if that's what we're, if we're in that same line with this, but it is okay. Spurs have the lead going into the timeout. Hey, yeah, we're happy about that. But yeah, let us know. What about what's going? I guess going bald's a different situation. Hey, yo, can't wait for that. But if you shave your head, is that a haircut or not? Let us know. But yeah, we do, like we said, of course, have Spurs versus Rockets on in the background. Bulls versus Clippers battling it out. And Suns versus Sixers as well, too, has been a pretty competitive game there. So Suns, one of the more entertaining teams. I don't know if we go like point differential, like closeness of games, but it does seem like they are just in a bunch of feisty games. And I mean, they are kind of a scrappy team like that, so probably makes sense. But and Ayo, the league is, like we're saying, the league's fun. So hopefully as we hit kind of a weird kind of not lull, but right before the All-Star break and that middle part of the season is of course interesting competitive time. But like we're saying, college football has of course ended, and the NFL as well too. We can see the end in sight for that, as we're down to the Final Four there. But yeah, mentioning the All-Star break, we do have news regarding the rosters. And we did see that announcement. I think it was announced the other night when we were on the live stream. But, again, we were focused on national championships, focused on other things. But now, since it is time to catch up on NBA, I think we can look at the potential All-Stars. And of course, there is a wrinkle this year as well too with the lineups. So it's even going to make it more interesting when they actually go out there to play. But yeah, Jimmy Butler as well too, tearing his ACL. So, unfortunately, his season is over. Definitely interesting for the Warriors and for the Steph Curry side of things as well too, because obviously has been the guy in the league that you would assume is just that loyal guy. And he probably, the thing is, like, you go, well, what is Steph Curry going to do? Is he just going to be loyal to a fault in Golden State and just not win? And it's like, actually, that's probably what's going to happen. Is he just going to be loyal? Because, that's the choice at this point, is it not? And I'm not, again, obviously, I guess Kurt Signetti could take over the Warriors and turn them around in a season. Like, anything's possible. But the idea of them still being able to continue to build competitive rosters, it does seem like there is a bit of a process that they might have to go back through to be able to get that team. And, again, a team like San Antonio now, it seems like, is this happening kind of quickly that all of these young players are now, all of a sudden, maybe are we a contending team? It's like, if you're able to get some of those players that are, a little bit more immediately impactful around Steph Curry, I guess you could simply say if you get that good drafting, but, again, if you're able to find those sort of immediate impact guys, then maybe you can retool right away to get back in the championship mix. But it does seem like they would have to complete the process. And San Antonio, of course, again, there was a real decade there almost where, and maybe we're adding a couple seasons onto it, but 7 or 8 years there where, again, it was a pretty mid team and then definitely had to tank out a couple seasons to get the higher pick. So at some point, it is that choice of, are you willing to sacrifice these tanking seasons? And again, you will take that gamble that you could strike gold and find somebody that is immediately ready to bring back the title team, and Steph is still able to, whatever impact you're going to need given the roster at the time, he's still able to give that to be competitive for the title. But, are you willing to take that gamble? Or, of course, do you want to give up the sort of loyalty and mystique of being the one franchise guy and, take that gamble somewhere else? And I would say, it's tough because the mystique of even him being a one franchise guy, I'm not saying that there still isn't like an old school, there's still some probably old school basketball fans that are like, yeah, having Steph on one franchise for an entire career would be fun. But even me now, where I would have been, kind of nostalgic. I don't even know if nostalgic is the right word, but I would have kind of, again, fantasized that idea, of that, just that player that could be with that team. And again, you get a guy like Wembanyama, you're like, you hope he can be around for the entire career. But even at this point with Wemby, I'm honestly like, we might have 8 years with Wembanyama. It is what it is. And that's not even an injury sort of situation or whatever. That could just be, by the time his second contract's up, he might just want to go somewhere else. He seems super happy right now. He's got the Spurs fans making chants and bringing in European traditions and fan sections and, really being an impact guy for the community. And, it seems like he could be another one of those, again, like one franchise type guys, but I don't expect it at this point. I'm not even really hoping for it, to be honest. Like, again, I hope we have him for enough seasons to win a title. And I guess the idea of having that commitment is, of course, the idea that you can win lots of titles and be, a dynasty or whatever. But again, it's 2026. These guys don't stay. So as much as this team seems fun, there will be a time where, and assuming, I'm assuming that when the CBA is up next time, that they will rewrite something or, allow something to happen within the rules that will make it easier for teams to build. There's going to be those gives and takes and corrections every time. And, unfortunately, does the league always get them right? No, but, at least they'll correct every now and then. It is what it is. But, I'm assuming that things will be different in the CBA next time they renegotiate for how teams can be built. Hopefully just in time for the Spurs to, re-sign Harper and Castle on those seconds and third deals and keep this team around for 15 years as well, too. But, like we're saying, at this point, at a max dynasty, a max run for a team is like 8-9 years. And that may, what are you going to get 10 years out of any team? So maybe nothing has really changed, but I don't know, the guys are playing longer now as well too. So 8 years is, obviously not what it was back in the day, but I would say that would be, again, the later half of his career, if he was on a couple different franchises, sitting here now, I'm telling you, it's not necessarily something that I would be super shocked by. Obviously, if he gets traded in year 5, if it's like a Luka situation, again, that's obviously going to be tough. And I don't know if we ever thought that Giannis was going to be a one franchise guy. Milwaukee, I don't know if it ever seemed like a one franchise team type of, I don't know if they've ever really had that type of thing. So, I mean, they've had guys have great careers there for sure. Again, Kareem and Oscar and, Ayo. Just those two? I mean, who else played for the Bucks back in the day? Ayo. Bob Dandridge? I guess anybody else on that 70s team. But, those guys did have lengthy careers there. But, even now, it's like, yeah, he's basically gone at this point. If Giannis is there for 8 more months, I guess not 8 seasons for this point, it's 8 months for Giannis. If Giannis is on the Bucks in 2027, it's honestly shocking at this point. It is what, like, something has either gone horribly wrong or horribly right in Milwaukee, and he's still there. But, that's just what we see with these teams. And for Steph, I'm not trying to be super nihilistic and super whatever about, again, the mystique of having that commitment to the franchise, but he has done that already. He's not leaving the franchise, and that's really the point. The point is, having the tenure, whatever the storyline with the franchise is, just having that completed. And, again, a lot of the times it is, if you're that star player, you hope it is for their entire career, 15, 20 years, whatever. And, I don't know, it's like LeBron in Cleveland, an example of that where, he set the precedent as well, too, for his career of, he was going to be a mobile player. Hey, I guess until he went to LA and just, decided to be there for 15 years. But, for Cleveland, it's not like Cleveland necessarily, I'm sure they regret not being able to, have him for those years that he was in Miami and to be able to build competitive teams around him consistently. But at the end of the day, he did bring a title there. There's nothing you're really, feeling too bad about him leaving at the end of the day. It's like, yeah, he did ultimately bring the championship that, you would hope that he would have brought to the franchise. And for Steph, like Tony Parker for San Antonio, it's not to say that you don't think about the Charlotte season. Again, respectfully, you don't really. But, you're not necessarily, there's no bad will for the Spurs fans. It's, weird in the moment, and you're like, okay, maybe it doesn't sit right with you. You're like seeing him in the Charlotte jersey, like that's fine. But, again, a couple years removed from, you're like, at the end of the day, the man literally did everything he could in San Antonio for for that franchise and helping him win championships. And even if he wants to, if he goes for Charlotte for one more season, even if he had success in Charlotte and was there, had like a little Chris Paul run bouncing around as a point guard, and maybe makes the final, takes Charlotte to the finals. Obviously, would have been crazy. He might have made he might have been the Charlotte Hall of Fame if that had happened. But even if he had done that, it's like he had literally done everything. And again, he accomplished everything for that franchise that the fan base, again, isn't fair to say that the fan base needed him to accomplish, but in terms of that, whatever that pause. Now we're getting really crazy. Whatever that emotional fulfillment that a player. I'm sure there's better ways to phrase it, chat. Hey yo. But we get it. Durant in OKC, the immediate example you think of the other way, where he left that franchise with unfinished business. And, is one title maybe one title is the goal at the end of the day. Once you bring one title, it's like you can kind of do whatever. Like if Jokic leaves now, are Denver fans going to be upset? And these are all examples as well, too, of franchises that had various, they've had droughts for championships. I guess San Antonio did when Duncan got there as well, too. Like they hadn't won one in the NBA, but same with Milwaukee. It had been since Kareem, and like we're saying, Golden State since Rick Barry, and for Giannis would have been Milwaukee. We're losing track of who we're talking about at this point, but we were saying obviously Tony Parker for point being, again, I don't really know what the career, again, he's done everything in Golden State. It is what it is. So I'm sure it'd be great that if, he was exclusive to Golden State, but maybe that doesn't happen. And maybe, again, as a fan that would have been a guy that would have liked to have seen people continue down that path at this point, I guess I have just been broken by the modern NBA. It is what it is. I don't care if Steph Curry plays on the Warriors for the rest of his career. I guess I hope he does, because it would be, but maybe I'm even lying to myself now at this point. Maybe I actually hope he doesn't. Maybe, and again, that's two different things. Like, do I hope that he leaves, or do I just want him to be in a better basketball situation? Again, obviously, what are the odds of that in Golden State is the thing that, we're kind of going in circles around about. But yeah, again, from that emotional sort of legacy standpoint, I don't know what does he accomplish for staying in Golden State. You could argue it the other way. What does he accomplish for leaving? But, it just is raising your opportunity and putting yourself in a better, team, in a better scenario to be able to win one. Yes, obviously it's not a guarantee. But you know what is a guarantee? You're not winning one in Golden State. That's for sure. So, and again, even for his, again, his legacy complete, we're not going to sit here and put a cap on it right now. He's still cooking. He's still on the all-star starter. He's still like an all-star starter type of player. But, for, again, him being in the finals situations, it is going to be, it would probably have to be him looking elsewhere. Or, if they, because, and not to say that LeBron wouldn't be a crazy trade, but, LeBron and Steph is probably not enough to win you a finals at this point, especially with what the Warriors have as a supporting cast now as well, too. But yeah, I guess, full circle at this point, I want Steph to leave. It is what it is. And I'm, do we want him to go to San Antonio? I guess, I guess, again, it always depends on what the trade is. Are we giving up Steph Castle and Dylan Harper for Steph? Respect to Steph.
I hate to say it. I know that we said that we wouldn't trade them for Giannis, and that is, I'm not saying that's NBA heresy, but that's still like, okay, like Giannis is one of the 25, 30 best players in NBA history, like one of the 35 most talented players in NBA history. Like, maybe you just have to trade for him because he's that, but it's like, we'll overthink it and keep our guys that we drafted. It is what it is. But saying it about Steph almost feels like bad karma for Dylan Harper. I almost, again, with respect to Dylan Harper, I almost want to say that we would be willing to, I don't know. Something about saying that we wouldn't trade for Steph Curry feels wrong. Pause. It just does not, it doesn't seem, again, I don't even know if I believe it as well, too. Like Steph and Wemby, I guess that probably wins the title this year. I don't know. You have the best perimeter offensive player and the best defensive player in the league at the same time. Would be a pretty dominant combination as well. But like looking at Cade here in the All-Star starters, like if Steph was on the Pistons, is he going to win a title in Detroit? Is it guaranteed that if Steph goes to the Pistons, he's going to win a title? He definitely makes the team better, and he definitely, raises the ceiling of the team. Again, it's not a guarantee, but is it weird to see him in Detroit? Again, Charlotte's actually been so theorized at this point that it wouldn't be weird to see him in Charlotte. And you get the highlights of him as like a kid, with Del Curry and stuff. So it's like, the fact that they have home videos in Charlotte, I think it makes it a little, it's a little easier to envision him in that franchise. But yeah, Detroit would be a weird one. I don't know. Does him in Denver? I mean, again, Steph Curry literally on any other team is the most jarring player on any other team in the league. Because again, LeBron at this point as the only other LeBron and Durant both as like the other statesmen of the league. Both those guys are bouncing around in the NBA. Pause. It is what it is. Again, I don't know if we say shout out to Abella Danger again, but again, those guys are moving teams. So if Steph is on a different team at some point, again, that would be the biggest shock for the jersey swap graphic. Him in Boston, like we were theorizing, that would be brutal, chat. That'd be brutal if it was like Anthony Simons and we had that Simons Derek White trade for forget who, but if it was like Simons and Derek White for Steph and the Warriors are like, actually, are we better this year with Simons and Derek White? It's like, oh, bro, that's not the move that you got to make. But Maxey for Curry, chat. I don't know. You're probably not. I think Philly fans are saying no. I think it's a respectful no. A very, very, again, respectful no. Like, I don't know what what's a great way to say no? Like, you take him out for dinner. You're like, sorry, we can't do this trade. Like, we just, you're a great player, but Maxey's leading the league in scoring. He's like 25. So I think we gotta keep him there. And I don't know, do we look at Steph Curry trade machine? We were going to look at the rosters, but again, the Jimmy Butler injury, not to say that Jimmy Butler was, again, the thing that was, with respect to Jimmy Butler, again, a lot of respect going around in Golden State these days. It is guys in their respectful years. Shout out. But, again, with respect to Jimmy Butler, he wasn't probably the missing piece, unfortunately, at this point. And again, obviously, maybe Golden State with the rest of it as well, too. Maybe Butler could still be the third best guy in a title team. That doesn't sound crazy as we say it. Even saying him as the second best guy in a title team still doesn't sound insane. But, again, the totality of it was not quite adding up at this point. But, yeah, he's 50% from the field this year. He was a little lower in terms of his, field goals. But I guess, he's always sometimes not the most aggressive in terms of going to scoring right away. But still 20 a game this year, 37% from three is not bad. Obviously not the same type of athlete flying around, maybe pest in the same type of way, but still's got a veteran craftiness to him, of course. And you still like Pods as a player. Obviously, the Kuminga piece is probably the biggest piece for the Warriors organization. The biggest X factor piece there over the last couple of years. Not even just for him playing, but, for what could have been in terms of even a trade as well, too, because that is something interesting at this point, looking at that, what his opportunities are there. And that's where it gets tough as Golden State, because again, Kuminga from a salary standpoint is your one, like, you can send him out for a decent number, and in theory with his with his age and skill set, like, you could be able to get something back that maybe could be a winning thing. Did Amen Thompson just try to reverse dunk it? Hey, yo, I think he just drove baseline and just tried to reverse dunk. We have to watch the replay on this. Whoa. There are plays, chat, and then there are plays where you're just like, we're not even watching, and we're just like, what just happened? Oh, man. Okay, they're flashing back to some reason for this Luke Cornett dunk. I mean, shout out. He's skying through the air. I mean, it's top-notch stuff. We must be watching no, it's Peacock broadcast. I say we must be watching the Spurs broadcast on League Pass. I don't know. I feel like we got to receive that Amen Thompson attempt. What just happened? Maybe, again, the me not paying attention. I just thought he might have done it, but I don't know. Pause. But yeah, obviously, back to Golden State. What are their moves at this point for, again, not just getting out of what the situation is, and maybe, do they just want to be fun playoff contention, and maybe it's like again, the fantasy that they could win the title more so that they're not, but more so than them actually being a contending team. And Draymond's salary as well too is definitely something to, keep an eye on over the next couple years. Speaking of respect, Chad, he's got the respect money, and I mean, he definitely earned it as well too. We're not going to sit here and say that that's a bad number. I'm just saying that, it is something that you're going to have to navigate in terms of building this team. Draymond Green's pension plan on the contract books. Hey, he's probably not going to work for our network if we're saying stuff like that. It is what it is. But, again, I guess we're defending it. We're defending it as a good contract. Oh, look at that. He's not even in the trade machine. That's one of the top guys. Kuminga, Butler, Buddy Hield, Moody, Giannis. I guess is Giannis the immediate name that you would obviously want to get if you're Golden State. Immediate Giannis trade machine part 26 for the NBA season. We're going to try to get to 45 before the trade deadline. But, again, you're not trading Steph for Giannis. Who I guess maybe Milwaukee's probably doing that because they could still sell a lot of tickets if you bring in Steph Curry. And then maybe you think, again, you just trade Steph Curry in a season if you want to actually reset and tank. But yeah, what do you the Butler contract at this point and Kuminga? I guess, we don't know if they really, I guess we do know because, he had to kind of re-sign with the Warriors. But Milwaukee did have limited salary when Kuminga was a free agent. They did have Dame Lillard. So maybe if they didn't make the Dame Lillard trade, their number 2 option would have been Kuminga. I don't know if you remember. You're like, hey, that's obviously what you guys were thinking a couple years ago, right? So Kuminga and Draymond for Giannis? That's obviously enough with some picks. And Guy Santos. Pods, though? If you throw in Pods and who are we getting? Kuminga? Hey, yeah, if you forget who you're trading for, you probably shouldn't do it. But Pods and Kuminga and Draymond for Giannis? Oh, no. It is what it is. So Pods is your best trade piece right now. But he's also, if you trade Steph, Pods is also going to be the future of your franchise. So I don't know if you do trade Pods or if Pods is the future of your if Pods is the future of your franchise. If you trade Steph, maybe you also trade Pods at that point. I'm not just maybe just be a faceless franchise for a season. I'm not sure. No disrespect to Pods. I'm just saying that he might be like a 4th guy in a title team. But I mean that's still great. I'm just saying again. Are you gonna be building that right now? Is Pods better right now than Concanupple is right now? I guess the other way around too. Is Concanupple better than Pods right now? I think probably he's a little bigger Pods than the Pods. 6'5", 205. Okay, I don't know. He might be somewhere in that range. I guess we don't have the bio memorized like that. It is what it is. Dylan Brooks. I don't know why we thought Dylan Brooks to Golden State for a second would be the savior, but there is. I don't. Not a hot take. I don't think there is a single player that they could trade for that would save the team. Again, I guess it's the NBA. Anything is possible. But you get Siakam. Like anybody on that level, I don't know if they're going to quite raise the rest of the roster. I mean, Steph could continue to just, have the playoffs of his life and continue to carry the team. But I don't know if there's a player that they have enough pieces to acquire, that would be, the good enough ones to be able to actually help in that way they could acquire. Or, maybe I was like looking at the Magic here. Like if they made like a blockbuster trade for Paolo, where it's like, okay, are Paolo and Steph going to win the title right now this season? But you obviously would do that trade, because you got to bring in Paolo as a potential face of the franchise. Orlando probably not taking Kuminga back for Paolo. anytime soon. And the poison pill definitely making that a little bit more difficult. But again, just in theory, there's not the right basketball math, I think, for them in a trade. Maybe like Garland? I don't know. See, and that's where it just gets ruthless sounding. Where you're like, Steph Curry, after all these years, he's going to get traded for Darius Garland. But that's not, I don't know. That's not bad, a couple seasons ago. I don't know if you're totally, needing to go a different direction. If you feel like, if you want to go that direction, if Garland is your starting point guard for a franchise. And I guess Steph's salary is way too much as well, too. It would have to be Mitchell for Steph, and that couldn't even happen because Steph makes too much at this point. Steph for Booker? Like, again, Ayo, you're literally just getting worse at that point. No disrespect to Booker. But, again, you're losing the franchise legacy in a 1v1 for that type of move. They've talked about bringing in Markkanen. There was like a Draymond for Markkanen situation, or was it Markkanen or Jimmy Butler? I don't remember, but they almost, or was it may have been Markkanen for Kuminga and Moody or something like that, and they turned it down. Hey, the trades you could have made. But maybe you Markkanen for Steph? Now this is the way you get Draymond back? You're like, okay, well, now we have to trade Steph. It is what it is. Again, this is, obviously you're not getting Cooper Flagg from the Mavs. Davis is out, so I don't know if he would be a guy that you could bring in and help revitalize the franchise. The Warriors did fix Steph Curry's ankles. Can they fix Anthony Davis? They just have to, I guess, fix him. In general, Ja, they just take a swing at Ja? That might have to be the move. I guess we did throw out LaMelo as a potential option. And who else is on the trade machine right now? The third name, Ja, LaMelo. I guess Trae Young already got traded. Zion. Yeah, or Zion. It would literally have to be Zion. They would have to take a gamble on Zion. I mean, Rich Paul was throwing out Jaren Jackson's gettable. I don't know. Kuminga for Jaren Jackson. Is that a move that you could make? I doubt it. But Ja for, honestly, that is something there, because I don't know if you could get Zion for Kuminga. Because, again, I think Zion still, like, Kuminga is not playing. And again, that might be due to the circumstances of the relationship. But Zion is still, at worst, like, your seventh man. So even if it's not, okay, we're trading for, a guy who could be our second best guy on a title team. He's still a guy that's going to be playing on the team. He's going to be getting minutes and going to be impacting. If Kuminga doesn't work out, does it go the other direction? And Ja as well, too. Like, if Ja is not totally locked in, like, he might be let's just going to, he'll have an ankle injury and just be out for the rest of the year. But there does have to be that, again, if they're going to take a gamble on a player, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is not bad. This is not bad. It is a bit of a risk, but I don't know. I feel like Ja in the Warriors might actually, something about that might actually be a decent pairing. And, it has to be a situation where, obviously the upside, the upside potential, what's the Hubie Brown quote? The tremendous upside potential of it has to be, pretty high. But the team is obviously just basically given up on the situation. The team is, I think, ready to kind of sell low on Ja, respectfully. It is what it is. Like, again, it's more at this point, who's going to take him on the roster and who wants to, be able to carve out the cap space. And then you also not only have to carve out the cap space, but you have to literally carve out the minutes for him. You have to carve out the opportunities in terms of getting shots and getting the looks in the offense. And right now, there's just a lot of talent in the league. It is what it is. So not to say that Ja is not going to have a job consistently, again, he is still on Memphis as well too, but not to say that he's not going to have a trade partner for the next 2 years, but as of right now, there's a lot of wait and see in the NBA. And of course, as we get closer to the trade deadline, of course, like with this Kuminga news now, things are starting to open up, but if they're like, okay, again, if, Kuminga could be something and we're just needing to pivot the contract stuff, get new looks and the kind of new people in the franchise and different direction there, you would still have to throw in a little bit more because of the contracts as well. And you're probably throwing in a pick, Kuminga and Pods, you might be giving up too much at this point. You'd have a lot of guards between obviously Pods and Ja and Steph, and it's like, are all these guys going to play together? Who cares? You're not winning the title, like we said. So bring in Ja. Ja and Steph might be fun, And if it's not, Kuminga, again, he's not playing. So, Buddy Hield might be a tough sacrifice to bring in Ja. But, hey, yo, we lost Buddy Hield on that gamble. Our bad. I feel like you can make up for that at the end of the day as a franchise. Do you have to protect a first-round pick? I feel like you probably honestly don't. If you don't have to throw in Pods, is Pods more valuable than a protected first? I don't know. He might be. Would you trade a top 14 protected pick for Pods? Maybe. But would it be Melton on a two-year minimum as well too? Do you just toss in Trace Jackson Davis, your only other front court guy? Maybe. I don't know. Will Ricard, you throw him in there. Seth Curry. I feel like that would be a situation where let's sign him and get the brothers back together. And then you I guess we have to trade you for Ja. But 31-39, I guess Golden State might not be able to bring this salary in. We need to remove, I guess, yes, $7 million. So Buddy Hield is at 9. That would make it work. Maybe we do a 3 for 2. In this situation, they got to put something else in the trade. Pause. Vince Williams? He might be too good, honestly. Trace is going to be a 3 for 4. Trace Jackson Davis is in the trade. Horford? It might just have to be Horford just because of, again, great minutes from Al Horford. You love to see the veteran contribution, but do you trade 39-year-old Al Horford, or do you trade 25-year-old Trace Jackson Davis, or do you trade? I guess Gary Payton has gotten traded a couple times before. A 1-year minimum? Oh, Chad, it's definitely Gary Payton. It's unfortunate. It is what it is, and he definitely gets waived and re-signed because obviously he loves going back to Golden State, and I don't know if that quite cuts enough out of the trade as well too. Yeah, we're still $5 million away. So Gary Payton might actually be safe. It is Buddy Hield. Oh, Buddy Hield's already in the trade. Oh, no. Hey, we might. So Draymond? Is it Kuminga and Draymond? Draymond to Memphis? Oh, no. Memphis fans' worst nightmare. Or is it the Butler contract? I guess now they're in the Fred VanVleet situation where they're like, hey, can we, Butler and Pods? What can Butler and Pods get us on the open market these days? Could they do like a VanVleet situation and do the Rockets need Pods? Do they need a point guard? Would they take the Butler contract back for Pods? I guess VanVleet's only at $25 million, so you might actually end up keeping him around as well too for when he's healthy, because that's not a bad salary. But yeah, I might have made it to the point where I think that trading Steph Curry is okay. It is what it is. Or Steph Curry leaving by whatever means, free agency. Obviously, you're probably going to trade to, it's, the greedy, ruthless NBA. You got to maximize your opportunity. But I think that is, the Rem and Sam go ahead. They have the approval from the Rem and Sam pod to continue to, if they want to blow apart the franchise. I think the Jimmy Butler injury was the last straw, chat. It is what it is. They're done. They're cooked. Shout out to the Golden State Warriors. But yeah, we got, of course, like we said, all-star rosters to look up as well too. Shout out to Steph Curry, who was on the starters for the West with Jokic, Doncic, Shea, and Wemby. And the East has Giannis, Brunson, Cade, Maxey, and Jaylen Brown. And I think, as we all know by now as well too, where if we're locked in on the NBA, that the format changed this year. Of course, they're being selected. The starters are being selected. The teams are being selected as East-West teams. But the game will be played as Team USA versus Team World. I don't know if this is the time, but we're going for it in 2026. So the lineups are going to be crazy. Denny Advia almost making the starter cut. So you imagine that he's definitely going to be an all-star. Again, we were almost considering him for All-NBA. So that would basically lock that in there. But the lineups are going to be the world and the US. So you're going to have Wemby, Doncic, Jokic, Shea, and Giannis on one team. And so they're basically trading Giannis from the East and Steph to the West. So that's the trade. The trade actually is Steph for Giannis. Steph goes to the Eastern Conference, Giannis goes to the West, and the lineup they literally will be playing in the game will be Wemby, Giannis, Jokic, Shea, and Doncic, and it will be versus Steph, Brunson, Maxey, Cade, and Jaylen Brown. So immediately the league's idea is just completely ruined. It is what it is. Unfortunately, Team USA is going to get absolutely cooked in a starting lineup by these guys. I mean, Steph Curry is actually once again literally our only hope. If his 3-point shooting, and I say, wait, are we Team Wemby or Team USA in this situation? I think unfortunately we're Team Wemby. It is what it is. But if we were hypothetically Team USA, I guess we'll have to make a choice at some point. There's only 2 options. But if we were hypothetically Team USA, Steph would, I think, be the only hope, because literally nobody can guard Jokic, Wemby, or Shea. I guess maybe Doncic is the one guy they can guard, or Shea, or Wemby, or I guess I can't even name the guys, but any of them. Jokic, Wemby, and Giannis are all going to have crazy mismatches. Cade and Jaylen Brown are basically the front court players for the Eastern Conference team, like the centers for this lineup. So you're going to have Jaylen Brown on Jokic. I guess Jokic being hurt right now is really the thing that was going to save this world lineup, or save this US lineup, is if Jokic can't be in the game. And then if it is the West, does it become Advia? Was he the starter as well too? Well, I guess Edwards would be the starter, so he would be Team USA at that point. So does Advia have to go into the starting lineup for Team World? How does that work if it's even? Is that why Wemby's in the lineup? Wemby over Advia? Advia had more votes than Wemby? Final fan returns? Oh, chat. Hey, yo. Doncic, Jokic, Steph, Shea, Advia, Wemby, Edwards, LeBron, Durant, Sengun, Austin Reeves, Harden, Kawhi, Jamal Murray, Anthony Davis, and Devin Booker. And Cooper Flagg sneaking in there at 17th. Wait, can we click on this? Is there more names? Is there 20? I'm assuming there's probably going to be like a top 20. Oh, well, it is what it is. We don't need to go to X. It's fine. But Norm Powell? Is Norm Powell not going to get in, chat? Pause. I guess you got LaMelo, and I guess Michael Porter could be an all-star for sure in the East. Brandon Ingram, like the Raptors are good, so Ingram and Scotty Barnes. Maybe Siakam. Like, are Siakam and LaMelo is the league gonna let Siakam and LaMelo in over Norm Powell? I mean, Norm Powell's got to be in it. It is what it is. But yeah, Team USA unfortunately does not stand a chance against Team World. And Wemby's gonna actually be trying. I think maybe Wemby and Giannis like playing together. This might be. Is this the hot take? Is this like the Heatles lineup where Wemby and Giannis play together in the All-Star game, and they're like, okay, this is kind of fun. Like, maybe we should do this. And I guess Steph would be the third Heatle version player of that, where they would have to, could they get both those guys? And now all of a sudden it's Wemby, Steph, and Giannis. I mean, that would be the team. We would not have Castle and Harper both if we had Wemby and Giannis and Steph. It is what it is. But is that a better version of the team? Would we rather have? I guess we said we wouldn't trade it for Steph, but would we rather have Wemby, Steph, and I guess we have a Steph either way. But would we rather have Wemby, Castle, and Harper, or Wemby, Curry, and Giannis? Hey, I guess we're not going to demote Steph to just Curry at this point, because he is still the number one Steph. With all due respect to Castle, maybe we can refer to his name in the right context when we're talking about San Antonio. But, Steph is still Steph. It is what it is. It's like Melo with Melo. Like, on this pod, even, Sam being a LaMelo Ball guy, like, he still says LaMelo. I feel like if you check the tapes, you don't really see Sam, slipping up and saying Melo that way. Like Melo is Melo. We all know Carmelo Anthony is the number one. Shout out. And Steph, again, even as great as Steph Castle will become as a player, and I'm sure he will be the Steph at the end of the day, Wemby hit a 3. I guess he's not the next Steph. We're just getting caught up in the plays. But he will be, Steph is still the number one guy, of course, when you use the name. I don't know what the other scenarios are, though, that are like that, where a player could neutralize a name. I guess Jalen, obviously, is a, more common name in the NBA. But, you do have, I think, quite an advantage for Team World in this game. And, I mean, all those guys can play together as well, too, because you have two backcourt, playmaking ball handlers with Doncic and Shea. Of course, Wemby and Jokic are perimeter threats, even though they're, centers and interior players. And Giannis is actually the center of the lineup. Jokic might actually be the point guard, and then Doncic is the small forward. Wemby's the power forward on the team. So the problem is Wemby might just get frozen out of this lineup. All these guys are going to be great. Wemby's the 5th best guy in his own lineup. It is what it is. But, Steph, if I'm assuming you're just going to have Shea on him, it might be like, and you can't say whoever Jokic is guarding, maybe the All-Star game factor if like Jaylen Brown and Cade are just attacking Jokic and Doncic more aggressively and trying, in Maxey as well too. Maybe if the East, or if Team USA just tries then maybe they will. Maybe they'll be okay. But yeah, shout out our guy Bronny got All-Star votes as well too. Yeah, you know, checking in for a couple minutes. Maybe how many threes has he hit this year? Has he hit more threes than he got All-Star votes? I'm not sure, but you know, either way, you love to see the support from the fans, chat. The LA fans, they love Bronny. You know, shout out. It is what it is. But we'll be back, chat. Hey, yo, we've still got more NBA to follow along. Still more fun stuff going on a Tuesday night. Don't go anywhere. Remington Pod. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, and we got a new segment that we're going to try. We've kind of unofficially attempted it a little bit when we were doing the 25 for 25 recaps of some of the all-time football teams, the all-time basketball teams. You know, we were doing NFL, we were doing NCAA versions of the lineups. But it was like, hey, why just stop at 25 for 25? You know, we can have all kinds of fun all-time, hypotheticals and lineups. And I think a first, a good first lineup, a good first, non all 25 or 25, just kind of random lineup to go for would, of course, be a basketball. We got to run fives is, I think, the proper way to do it. And we did mention this in the 25 for 25, but I actually wanted to follow through and see what happened. We wanted to, because we were doing like a draft with Sam, and we were drafting our lineups for, the best players of the last 25 years. And I was thinking, can we get away with taking MJ on the Wizards? And now we have MJ in this lineup. And I just thought, hey, let's just build an all-time simulation around MJ on the Wizards. And I don't know, maybe we just become like obsessed with MJ on the Wizards and like just watch some random YouTube games on our off time as well too. Hey, yo, they don't talk about the MJ on the Wizards run, and then him as an owner as well too. Maybe we don't talk about that actually. But numbers wise, 2 seasons, 13th in MVP voting, still getting MVP votes, 23 a game, and then 20 a game the next year. Was actually better from the field at 39. Needed a season under his belt. Like if he had kept going, he would have actually maybe warmed back up a little bit. I don't know. Made an all-star both of the seasons. So MJ never missed an all-star game. I guess 14 for 14. His rookie season, he wasn't an all-star. No, he was. Oh, that season that he was like half return. Oh, yeah. So 94, 95 when he played, the last 17 games of the regular season. Still 11th in MVP voting in 17 games played. Just any guy playing 17 games for a season and being nearly a second team All-NBA guy is pretty impressive. But yeah, he was, like 21 and a half a game on the Wizards in that stretch, 43% from the field, 24% from three. Is not necessarily something that is going to look super crazy on the box scores, but not bad. 20 a game, 43%. What are CJ McCollum's numbers right now? What would they, MJ on the Wizards, this version now would still be like they just traded. They could have traded MJ for Trae Young if it was in 2025. So, he's not bad. A salary dump in 2025, but yeah, 38-39. Of course, had the couple years off from Chicago after the second retirement. And we have to keep the lineup in theme with the sort of, second tenure type teams and the teams that you don't really think about type of motto. So we'll grab the best version of MJ from the Wizards. Of course, I guess like we said, his percentages were better the next year, but still, I think more at the peak of his powers in 01-02, MJ on the Wizards. And, this early 2000s, of course, you do have some of those 90s guys still hanging out. We do have Pat Ewing. Pat Ewing also plays till 2002. So 2001, 2002 is his last season. He was in Seattle in the 0001 season and was 9 a game that year, 43% from the field. How many blocks per game? Was he still a defensive menace? Less than a block a game. And then almost a steal a game as well too. Getting 7 rebounds, 9-7 and a block a game, and then he dropped to 6 points a game, 4 rebounds, less than a block a game in Orlando. 44% from the field, 13 minutes a game. So he was still playing 26 minutes a game in Seattle in 2000. That's still like a major rotation guy. 44 wins. They were good. They were okay. They were 5th in the Pacific Division. I guess they didn't make the playoffs, so they were not that good, unfortunately. But 44 wins is like still an okay record, so they were competing. So 2000, 2001, Pat Ewing. I guess the question becomes, is this going to be an old guy versus young guy lineup or old guy versus old guy lineup. Can we find enough old guys as well too? And not just old guys, the legendary all-time old guys where, obviously these guys are Hall of Famers in their careers before. I was thinking Scottie Pippen. He played to 04. Do we reunite MJ and Scottie Pippen for one last run? This is like righteous kill. Is MJ on the Wizards, and then they trade for Scottie Pippen, and then they would also have to bring back Phil Jackson to coach, because I think, well, no, because Michael Mann didn't direct Righteous Kill. So it'd be like if Michael Mann directed Righteous Kill, if they brought in Phil Jackson back. And I guess he did go back to Chicago for six starts in 03-04, 23 games, but played 4 seasons in Portland and 1 season in Houston. Oh, could we get Scottie Pippen in Houston? That'd be kind of a Pippen Houston jersey. I feel like you don't see those out there. Hey, yo, was first team all defense that year, though. 7th in defensive player of the year voting, and then second team all defense in 99-2000 with Portland. So 2000, 2001, 11 a game, 10 a game in 01, 02, and then 10 a game as well in 03, 02, 03. Percentages 41-30 in 01, 02, 44-28 in 02, 03, and still 33, 32 minutes a game. And then back in Chicago, like we're saying, kind of fell off a little bit, I guess, finally on that last year. Is this not falling off? I think this still counts as being productive in the NBA. I don't know. That 2000, 2001 season, he's basically the same player, just taking less shots. I mean, we got the last title season, 97-98. We got him at 44-31, and then 2000, 2003, he's 44-28. So yeah, I guess the 3-point percentage was actually, a little bit farther behind. But, either way, still a pretty even season. 10, 5, and 5. He's at 10, 5, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists almost in 2000, 2002. That's better than Draymond now. Scottie Pippen at 36 or Draymond. How old is Draymond right now? Hey, yo. So we've got 2000, was that 2000, 2001? Yeah, 01, 02. Scottie Pippen is the year we need. So yeah, him and MJ both from the same season. If only they could have reunited and had one last run. But that would have been MJ the owner trading for Scottie Pippen. That might have been a complicated scenario. MJ the GM trading for Pippen? Was he the owner at that point when he was playing for the team? I guess I don't remember his exact role in the team. We could get Olajuwon as well too. We have to get our guy Hakeem. Played till 2002. Got a Raptors season in there. Do we grab the last Rockets season and keep him on the... Oh, but we were going with the second teams. So we have to get the Raptors season. 22 minutes a game, 46% from the field, 7 a game. We check him in for what? Yeah, 22. Well, I guess he's going to be playing more than 22 minutes in this game, unfortunately. It is what it is. So we might have to go back and get 01, 02 Pat Ewing just to stick in line with the theme as well too. But 01, 02 Hakeem is in our lineup. So we could go, and we're obviously being biased with anybody. We could go Shawn Kemp, I was thinking. Karl Malone, of course, 80s, 90s legend playing into 2004. But he was on the Lakers. So yeah, that's a different type of second team. You're going to the Lakers. Hey, yo. All these guys went to, I guess we're not going to say less respectable franchises. Hey, yo, because that'd be crazy. Smaller markets, I think that's the better way to say it, right? They went to smaller markets. Hey, yo. IT might have to do some editing there. But Shawn Kemp in Cleveland, this might do something to our team chat. Hey, yo. This might, unfortunately, turn the lineup in a different direction. Maybe that 01, 02 season itself was okay. Cleveland, Portland, Orlando. Oh, he was in Cleveland in the 90s. So we're going Portland, 2000, 2001. Him and Pippen both. Hey, yo, 6 a game, 40% from the field. 36% from 3, though. I guess at a fifth a game. He took 1 every 5 games. I don't know what the math is there. I guess we don't play 100 games on the season. He was 4 for 11 on the season from 3. I mean, if he was okay from 3, then that might be something. If he could get some rebounds and be okay from 3 and not get too many fouls, then that might actually work. So 2000, 2001, Sean Kemp is the other guy that we have on this lineup. So once a stacked roster, maybe we call this team the Clippers, but we've got MJ, Pat Ewing, Scottie Pippen, Hakeem, and Sean Kemp, all from the 2000s. So do we go like old guy team from modern day? Because if we did like the 30, 40 teams now, would of course it was like MJ, Steph, and Durant, like they would school these guys. So I don't know if that'd be fair. It is what it is. I was thinking Chris Paul would be interesting in this game because, of course, he did play a long time. Iguodala played for forever as well, too. So I don't know if we go a leader in games played. And I guess this is not necessarily, the guys that we just picked is obviously not a direct correlation for that. But for more recent guys, anyways, to see who had the more significant careers. Yeah, Chris Paul was definitely playing, again, up until later. I guess those are only the active guys. We need to pay attention to the retired ones as well, too. Our guy Timmy never went to the second team. Kobe, rest in peace, never second team as well, too. Jamal Crawford. Did Jamal Crawford play till he was 40? Do we go the all 40 team? Maybe we just do that. I don't know. 40s, 39. Oh, he played one game. He played 6 minutes at 39 years old. Shout out. You love to see it. Went 2 for 4. So it was pretty efficient. But at 38 was actually getting 19 minutes a game in Phoenix. Minnesota, Phoenix, Brooklyn, his last 3 after the run with the Clippers there. And obviously, yeah, he bounced around to quite a few teams. But was, obviously wanted the entire time as well, too. Always had a home in the NBA as long as he's getting points. Oh, we have to get our guy Parker in this game as well. That season, of course, like we're saying, that he went to Charlotte. We've got 18-19 Tony Parker. And, again, a guy like Chris Paul, bounced around to multiple teams at the end of his career. And I guess ended in San Antonio if we took his last season. So it would be, 18-19 Parker. Hey, yo, we went Tony Parker. I don't know if we have to be too specific or not, but our guy TP will be represented in this lineup. And I guess it can't be Team USA All-Stars. It can't be all point guards in this team as well. Oh, Dwight Howard, chat. I guess we got to be fair. We got to be fair at some point as well, too, to the guys that bounce around. The Memphis, like the Iguodala Memphis run could be something to consider. Oh, Shaq. Do we do like a older Shaq in this game? He might be unstoppable, but we do have Pat Ewing as well. 2010, 2011 Shaq. 9 a game, 67% from the field, hitting 2/3 of his shots and 20 a game. Actually, like the highest field goal percentage of his career, if you say technically. I guess we can sort it out, but I think we're reading it correctly. I guess. Hey, yo, Basketball Reference doesn't even want to show it that way because it's like, wait a second, that's not actually right. But 2010, 2011 Shaq is our next option. So him and Parker running a pick and roll. A Charlotte. Do they get to wear the jerseys like it's an all-star game? And they're running around Shaq in his Boston jersey. We've got Tony Parker in his Charlotte jersey going crazy. Both of them 39. Where was James Harden at? Did I see James Harden on here? Yeah, James Harden. So the Clippers, we could do Clippers era James Harden. We could do Clippers era Bill Walton as well, too. We could do Clippers era as a lot of guys. But I don't know. That might start getting to be a little too unfair as well with the second teams. I mean, I guess, again, we got all Hall of Famers on that other one. I mean, we literally have MJ, even if it's, older guys in a lineup. That's still pretty unfair there. Sean Marion is going to be in this team, I guess. Millsap, Clyde, DeMarcus, nobody. LaMarcus Aldridge, Dominique Wilkins. Oh, Barkley, Gnarls Barkley is going to be an option. Dominique, and then like we're saying, we're projecting Steph Curry when he goes to Detroit or somewhere else, like San Antonio maybe, would be the, like we're saying, the fun choice. Taj Gibson, 1,000 games played. He's in the 1,000 games played. Tobias Harris, 4 more games played, and he'll be at 1K. Oh, okay. So Vooch at 1K as well too has had the crazy career. So we got to go Iggy. Where'd our guy Iggy go? Hey, yo, what were those? And did he end his career technically on the Warriors as well too? He might have went back for his last season. Yeah, his last 2. Oh, Miami Iguodala is the choice. So he played 63 games, 5 starts, 38% from the field, 33% from 3. I guess, it's always going to be the defense, the leadership, the playmaking. What season was that for Iguodala? 2021 for Iggy. I guess he was okay in 1920. He was 43% from the field, 20, basically 30% from 3. So I guess a little more accurate from 3 the next season. 21 games played in 1920. Okay, yeah. So 2021 Iggy is number 3 as well. And then what version of CP3 did we want to have in this lineup? Number 16 in all-time games played. I guess Vince Carter did bounce around as well too. So we'll go Vince Carter. Do we have to even out the lineups? No, because they have Shaq, like we said. So even 10-11 Shaq is pretty OP. Oh, that's right. Chris Paul was on the Clippers this season. Oh, man. RIP. That was okay. Oh, we go like Golden State, Chris Paul. And he was, he was fine in San Antonio. Shout out. Played all 82 games, 28 minutes a game. He was productive for sure. 8 points, 7 assists. Like, that's legit numbers. 9.6 assists in Golden State. So we got 20, 23. A little bit smaller in the backcourt again with Parker and Paul. But 20, wait, was that 23, 24 or 22, 23 for Chris Paul? Yeah, Golden State was 23, 24 for his season. And then that gives us one more guy that we'll need to complete at least the amount of guys that we need if this is not the official roster. Oh, that's right. We said Vince Carter was our last option. Stockton. Garnett. We could go those Brooklyn guys. Garnett, Paul Pierce. Did they get the third? Oh, did they get Rondo? No, I don't. Maybe just the 2 that they had in there. Moses Malone, Kevin Willis, Terry bouncing around. Pause. Reggie Miller stayed, of course. The kid had a couple of different teams. Paul Pierce Paul Pierce playing for the Celtics. I was thinking, where's Pau Gasol? I saw his name. I was thinking Pau Gasol bounced around, not Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce did. Oh, yeah. Well, he was saying he went to Brooklyn. Oh, Washington. We could go Washington. Paul Pierce could be fun. Yeah, Washington. Paul Pierce. Was he somewhere after Washington? There might have actually been another team. He didn't play for Atlanta, did he? Our guy Melo. Whoa, who are we talking about? Paul Pierce. No, just Brooklyn, Washington. Oh, the Clippers. He did also play for the Clippers. Hey, yo, so we might have to go Clippers, Paul Pierce. With all due respect to Chris Paul, Clippers, Paul Pierce, 16, 17, Paul Pierce might be the better option. I don't know. We already have 2 point guards. And then if we go Vince Carter, Paul Pierce, we might take Tony Parker off the team as well too. And just go more wings instead of the guards. As he was our only other option. We said, oh, Melo. Speaking of the one true Melo, we could go Melo. Oh, I think Melo has to be in this game. Was OKC, Houston, Portland. Yeah, Portland Melo. LA Melo as well too. 2021, 44% from the field, 37% from 3. But Portland Melo that last season, 42% from the field, 40% from 3. Was kind of good off the bench. 7th and 6th man of the year voting at 36 years old. Still balling out. Still could probably go into the league and could Melo give you 8 points a game in 25, 26? I don't know who would need it. Pause, but it would still. I think he can still give you, a couple productive minutes of getting some buckets. So we've got him at the 40% from 3 season on 2021 as well too. So he might have to take the Iggy spot, honestly. 2021 Carmelo, with all due respect to Iggy. Finals MVP Iguodala is going to get benched for Carmelo Anthony, Tony Parker, CP3, Shaq, Carmelo, and Vince Carter. Yeah, I think that. Oh, Westbrook. We could go Westbrook as well too. Is Westbrook only like 35, 36 though right now? Let's see where we're at. Westbrook better be 40. Hey, yo, 37? Okay, Sacramento Westbrook though. I feel like Sacramento Westbrook. Hey, yo. I feel like if IT, write that down. That's gonna be the name of our first son. I'm not sure, but Sacramento Westbrook might be a fun random player in NBA history as well too. Honestly, I think Sacramento Westbrook's gonna take over Charlotte Parker. It is what it is. Charlotte Parker is just like, you know, shout out, just like somebody that we follow on Instagram, maybe. You know, Sacramento Westbrook. Sacramento Westbrook is a Patreon, I think, that we're signing up for. We're like, that's like a Dan Bilzerian Sacramento Westbrook. I don't know type. He's like on a yacht playing poker, like giving dating advice for $50,000. Like, can we get Sacramento Westbrook on the phone? Like, what do I do about this girl? But 25, 26, Sacramento Westbrook. Hey, yo, that's elite stuff, chat. I don't know. It never gets old. It's like Dylan Brooks in Atlanta. Sometimes it just works out. It is what it is. But 25, 26, I feel like we just have to write. Sacramento Westbrook might be an actual person, though, that they're going to get mixed up with. I don't know. But 25, 26 Westbrook. We've got Shaq, Carmelo, CP3, and then, yeah, Vince Carter would. Oh, but Vince Carter versus Paul Pierce? Clippers, Paul Pierce? Or who's the last team that Vince Carter played for? We'll see. What's a better option here for randomest lineups? This is the randomest old guy lineup simulation. The first one that we are attempting to see here. Sacramento Westbrook definitely is a team captain. And I don't know how him and Carmelo Anthony are both team captains and they're on the same team, but Sacramento Westbrook is able to figure it out. He is capable of bending the rules to make them happen. So we closed out the tabs. The page is not loading. Okay, there we go. It finally had to happen. Oh, Atlanta. Atlanta was the last stop for Vince Carter. 35% from the field, 30% from three, even though he was 39% from three at 42. So he was still, you know, get him in the corner, could still do a little damage. We get Sacramento Vince Carter as well too. We could do an all Sacramento lineup. An all Wizards versus all Sacramento. We should have done an all-time Clippers versus like an all-time Sacramento. That might be next. Do we have to take Sacramento Westbrook out of the lineup because we're going to reuse him later? I don't know. So Tony Parker's back in, Sacramento Westbrook's out? I don't know, but then we have to take CP3 out, and I don't know. Maybe we go pre-2000s and then it's a whole new set of guys. But Atlanta Vince Carter, we got 18-19 Vince Carter, or what do we say? Paul Pierce on the Clippers was also our other option. We keep having other options. It is what it is. But Melo's on the team, so we're good there. Jeff Green, top 50 all time in games played. Shout out. You know, Golden State Horford, I guess, is a fun center option that we could kind of pick. Or Garnett as well, too. We could go, why wouldn't we just go like Brooklyn Garnett instead of Brooklyn Paul Pierce? Hey, yo. He did go Brooklyn and Minnesota. I guess nothing really feels random about his teams, though, because he was in Minnesota for basically until he was 30, as many seasons as he could be. And then he got like very respectably traded to Boston, contended with Boston until they traded him to Brooklyn, and then just was just basically played out in Brooklyn until he went back to Minnesota. So he never had like let me go play for, let me go play for Denver. Let me go play for Memphis for a season. What's another random team that we can list? Brooklyn is the random team that he could have played for. Honestly, San Antonio. Kevin Garnett in San Antonio would have been kind of random. But he didn't just have let me wander over here and see what's happening. Again, he was kind of on every team with a purpose. And then even Minnesota is just him going back to that franchise for a couple seasons. Paul Pierce on the Clippers is actually random. And Paul Pierce on the Wizards as well, too. Again, he did have the run of random teams. Gary Payton, the Heat had like a Jason Williams. Like there's some Heat guys from that early 2000s period that were bouncing around a little bit. Pause. But yeah, 2014-15 Paul Pierce was actually kind of decent in this lineup. 37, 40, 47, 44% from the field, 39% from three, 11 a game for him that year. And then dropped to 6 a game in the Clippers, and then was, like barely, like we're saying, playing in that 16-17 season. So we're going to go Washington, Paul Pierce. And wasn't he having like the bank in buzzer beaters on this Wizards team as well too? There's like that one fall away, kind of almost at the, like a weird straight on, but still at a corner angle where he banks it in from 3 or something like that. We might have to go watch that highlight again. I'm not sure. But he did play 70. He started 73 of 73 games for that Wizards team. So he was actually balling for him, playing 26 a game. So yeah, I think with all due respect to Vince Carter, who was still like, could he have been in the dunk contest at any point in his career? I don't know, but pretty close and always still being crazy athletic. But yeah, that is, I think, the fun random season that we can throw in there. So we've got 14-15 Paul Pierce to go with 23-24 CP3, Carmelo Anthony on the Blazers, Shaq on the Celtics, and Sacramento Westbrook. And then we've got Wizards, MJ, Magic, Ewing, Raptors, Pippen, and Hakeem. So that team was stacked. And then Kemp, Cavs, Sean Kemp. So that's what's going to keep this Sacramento Westbrook team in the game, is the fact that we have Cleveland Cavaliers, Sean Kemp. But 2014-15, who are we taking? Paul Pierce is the other guy that we have here for this lineup. So let's see what happens. I don't know. We might have to do a best of 3 for this lineup because these guys might not be able to play a best of 7 series. But I think we'll manage anyways, since it is a simulation. We'll make them play the full time. It is what it is. And unfortunately, we don't have benches to relieve these players of any action, so they're gonna be tired as well too. It is what it is. And we have to separate these rosters, I guess, somehow, so we know who is who. Maybe we'll just kind of block off the teams here and make sure we know where the starting lineups are at. We know Westbrook's a captain. I guess it's Westbrook versus MJ. Team Westbrook versus Team Jordan. Is Westbrook a Jordan athlete? So maybe this is like a Jordan brand charity game that they're playing, and somehow we've got vintage version. We went back and got 2001 Sean Kemp for the charity game. I'm not sure, but sim this game, and then we've got 1 of 7, because we do have to play a series to prove who is the best of the MJ Wizards and the Sacramento Westbrooks. So game 1, what happens? Is it on the Wizards home court? Do they play a game on every different home court? So game 1 will be in Washington and then Orlando, and then they go Sacramento and Boston, and then and then 2 games in Toronto. So that would be actually the time that works out there. But we've got, Team A, the Prime Legends. I think ChatGPT might be a little off here with this one. B, Modern plus Veteran Mix. So, yeah, Jordan 01, 02. I mean, hey, I'm sure the team will take a Prime Jordan performance. It is what it is. But maybe a little off in accurately recapping what's going on there. Team A, out methodical and dominant defensively. Jordan attacks CP3 early while drawing doubles. Hakeem and Ewing push Shaq with quick moves and offensive boards. Westbrook pushes pace but turns it over twice under Pippen's pressure. Sacramento Westbrook is choking under pressure. It is what it is. 2 turnovers in the first quarter early. And we have no other options. We didn't bring, like I said, we ended up, who was the guy we cut? Kevin Garnett. We can't go big, with our Garnett lineup. Ooh, that would have been an interesting move instead of Sacramento Westbrook. It is what it is. But MJ's up 6 at the end of the first. Second quarter, Shaq asserts himself. He gets back in the Fountain of Youth. 2 massive dunks, a putback dunk, and fouls Ewing into early trouble. Melo heats up from mid-range. CP3 controls tempo. Jordan still scores, but Team B improves. Team A up 2. Jordan, Team A. Again, CP3, Pierce, Melo. Those guys are Team B. We've got MJ's fadeaway on Pierce in the third quarter. Steal on Westbrook. Back-to-back jumpers over Melo switches. Hakeem locks in defensively, forcing Shaq into tougher hooks. Kemp dominates in transition with power finishes. Team A back up by 8. Making a little bit of a run in the third quarter. CP3 is clutch in this situation. Oh, chat, imagine this is where CP3 gets his title at the end of the day in a chat GPT simulation. But he hits 2 threes, two clutch pull-ups, I guess. Melo drains a corner 3. Shaq scores 6 straight in the paint. But with 3 minutes left, Jordan hits 3 straight shots. Post up, post fade, pull up, and transition jumper. Pippen steals it, seals it with the late steal on Westbrook. And Team A wins by 8. We've got Jordan Chet. Hey, yo. Wizards Jordan 38, 6, and 5. 3 steals. Hakeem 22, 13, and 4. Pippen balling out. Even Kemp. Sean Kemp 18 and 9. Do we have to remind ChatGPT? This is Cavs. Sean Kemp. It is what it is. Shaq with 30. I mean, Boston Shaq with 30 as well, too. It's fun. I guess somebody's got to score in this game. Melo with 21. CP3 with 16, 11. Westbrook 14, 7, and 6. The 6 being turnovers. 14.7 assists, 6 turnovers. So, nearly a triple-double there. And Paul Pierce with 11 points. Game 2 is potentially going to be close here. We'll see. A big Melo performance. Shaq maybe continues to dominate. Melo at the 4 to pull Kemp out of the paint. Okay, interesting. CP3 runs more high pick and roll with Shaq. I mean, yes, that should have been the first strategy going into game 1. Jordan post up early with to attack Pierce. Pippen assigned full time to Westbrook. Oh, just commit to getting the ball back every possession. It is what it is. First quarter, Team B starts hot. CP3 controls tempo beautifully, hitting Shaq for deep seals. Melo hits 2 early jumpers. Jordan scores, but A is reacting instead of dictating. Whoa, there we go. Finally, Team B setting the pace in the game for once. We've got second quarter. Shaq goes nuclear. Whoa, 15 points, overwhelming Ewing. Poor Patrick Ewing. He didn't show up in the stat sheet last time. I guess he did because Shaq dominated. But Westbrook thrives attacking rotations and forcing drives. Jordan keeps Team A alive with mid-range mastery. Team B up 9 at halftime, 63-54. Hakeem responds defensively. So there we go. Hakeem on Shaq. Didn't we see that in the 90s work? Why don't we try it again when they're... It's like that clip. That guy's... I've been schooling this guy since 84. We've got Hakeem and Shaq out here doing the same thing. Kemp ignites in transition. Pippen hits back-to-back corner jumpers. The game tightens. Team A pulled to 3 at the end of the third. CP3 versus MJ chess match. Oh, Chad, I'm taking MJ. MJ is going to dot him up. It is what it is. CP3, again clutch. Shout out. You love to see it. Melo nails huge contested jumper. With 1:20 left, the game is tied. Final minute, Shaq scores on a deep post seal. Jordan answers with a fadeaway. CP3 hits a dagger elbow jumper with 18 seconds left, and Jordan's final shot rims out. Oh, chat, see, you can't get the shot up every time, I guess, when you're 30, 40, I guess, in the NBA. It is what it is. But I guess Team B wins. Game 2 by 4, a nail biter. Shaq with 36, Paul with 22 and 13, Melo with 20. Hey, Westbrook. He had 18, 8, and 6, and it's all positive this time. It is not listing turnovers. Paul Pierce with 10. So, yeah, maybe the Westbrook assignment, Pippen on Westbrook, wasn't as successful as we'd like. And Ewing, I think, on Shaq, it just has to be the move. Hey, yo. Or Elijah on Shaq. Just has to be the move. It is what it is. Jordan with 34. Kemp with 16. Pippen with 14. Ewing with 8 and 9. Okay, so there we go. Shout out Pat Ewing. And Elijah with the 20, 12, and 4 blocks as well there. So game 3, this one is, I guess, back in Toronto, like we're saying. We get a couple games in Toronto before the random road trip starts again. Offense runs through Hakeem early. Jordan plays more off ball. Shaq remains the focal point. Pierce guards Pippen to hide Melo. So that is an interesting counter for sure, though I think Pippen, and Pierce is a good defender, so Pippen maybe with the handles could be interesting, but who's Melo guarding on the other end? Is he guarding MJ? Is he guarding Sean Kemp, I guess? So maybe Sean Kemp's able to take him in the post or work him on the cuts or the offensive rebound. Oh, Team A takes the first quarter by 7. Hakeem dominates immediately. Dream shakes, quick hooks, drawing fouls on Shaq. Jordan picks spots instead of forcing. Oh, so we got a very, a well-delegating Michael Jordan in this game. The passing and the letting the teammates do the other work is definitely there. Team A controls the pace. Westbrook injects energy. 2 coast-to-coast finishes, and Melo hits a tough fadeaway. You love to see Melo balling out in this scenario. For sure, definitely proving his worth in the all-time status. But Kemp punishes switches with raw power. Yeah, that was definitely going to happen. Pippen locks in defensively, forcing turnovers. Team A up 8 at halftime. Jordan explodes. Oh, so we had Shaq with 15 in the third in game 2. So ChatGPT reusing the storyline. Jordan with 14 in the third quarter of game 3. Steal, dunk, crowd erupts. Mid-post fade over Pierce, then CP3 switch. I mean, he's just the whole defense. It doesn't matter. Shaq still scores, but Team B's defense starts to crack. Team A up 12. Uh-oh. This is the largest lead of the series for anybody up until this point. It's starting to look like maybe Team A is finding their rhythm. I don't know. We've got fourth quarter. Team B makes one last push. Indiana, CP3. Whoa. Hits 2 pull-up jumpers. Maybe they need Mendoza to sub in here and get clutch minutes. Shaq throws a massive dunk, and lead cut to 6 with 4:30. Then Hakeem slams the door. Block on Shaq, and 1 hook. Kick out assist to Pippen in the corner. Oh, chat. The defensive assignments are not working out. Jordan closes with ice-cold free throws. Game 3, easy work, 116 to 102. Jordan with 41. This is prime Jordan, chat. Hey, yo. Did Jordan ever have 3 back-to-back 35-point games with the Wizards in real life? I guess he had, 34 in this fake game 2. And then he had how many in fake game 1? He had 38. So he's had 34 or more in the first 3 games of this series. We actually have to go back and check MJ's real Wizards run and see if he ever actually matched this. What is the high bar for an MJ performance on the Wizards? What was that looking like for the every game scenario of it? I mean, we say we can't do math, chat, but we will give you a little math advice. That's how averages work. It's the combination of all the games. So even if he has, a really good game in Washington, he would need to keep it up to have a good average for points per game. And we don't want to doubt MJ as well, too. Oh, we have a 31, 44, and 30. So 3 30s in a row. 30, 22. We had 26, 28, 51, 45, 29. Oh, close, chat. It's close. It might honestly be close in the overall total between the 3 games. But, yeah, he couldn't quite get to 30 in the next game. It is what it is. In the game before that, he was 6. Oh, he scored 6. It was close. But, I guess that's your limit. 2 40-point games or 3 30-point games is what you have. Oh, here we go. 30, 40, and 41, and 32. Okay, so that's 4 games of 30 in a row. Not quite hitting the 35-point mark 3 games in a row still. But, we're at 30. We're still right there. We're getting close. Uh-oh, the season's starting to running out. 37 points. Oh, no, wait. Oh, a couple more games. 34. And here's a 34-point performance to end the year. So I don't know if the final season of his career would have been the one to prove us wrong here. But he was still capable of some good stretches for scoring. And maybe you get the consistent on-off of a series, the break cycle there. Maybe could help him out. He had 30 and 33 and 16 in 2002. 41 in the 19 and 14. 45, 27, and 12. He can't keep up, Chad. Hey, yo. We've got nothing getting back to 30. And that was it. His last 39. Here we go. He had a 27, 39, 23. So, yeah, a couple of those runs in that first Wizards season obviously would have been close. But this is the best MJ's ever played in the finals. Not quite. I mean, he was 40 points a game in a couple of those series. But this is pulling from those years and maybe his Wizards years. I don't know. But 2-1, obviously not super surprising there. Game 4 is the turning point of the series. Start Shaq plus Melo inside out to force double team. CP3 takes more scoring responsibility early. Westbrook used as cutter instead of primary creator. Oh, Chad, it took him till game 4 to make that adjustment. Hey, yo. I guess maybe Westbrook, it took him till game 4 to make that adjustment. I don't know. Jordan attacks early, set the tone. Hakeem plays higher to disrupt CP3's Shaq's actions, and Pippen stays glued to Westbrook all game. So game flow. First quarter. B comes out desperate. CP3 scores or assists on the first 12 points. So Shaq has been awesome as well, too. I mean, who would be the MVP between him and CP3? Would be a good debate. What would the voters think? I don't know. Everything near the rim pause. Jordan scores, but Team A is on its heels. Team B up 5 at the end of the first. The game turns physical. Ewing and Shaq trade blows inside. Kemp ignites Team A with power dunks, but Melo heats up. 3 straight tough jumpers over contests. Halftime, Team B is up 4. So third quarter, this becomes a defensive war. Hakeem blocks Shaq twice. Pippen forces Westbrook turnovers. Jordan scores efficiently, but without volume. And Team B is up 2 at the end of the third quarter. So we get into the clutch fourth quarter minutes, and Jordan hits a baseline fade to tie. CP3 answers with a pull-up 3. And then Shaq a deep seal with 1:10 left. Final 40 seconds. Whoa! An action-packed minute here. We've got Jordan drives, kicks to Pippen, corner jumper good. CP3 finds Melo on the switch. Contested fade is good. Final possession, Jordan ISO on Pierce. Fade away, rims out. Shaq grabs the board and seals it at the line. Oh, Shaq free throws to win. Oh, chat. We've got Wizards Jordan scoring 40 a game, and Shaq's making free throws. Oh, man, they're really treating this team favorably. It is what it is. But, hey, Shaq wins Team B, 109-105. So, Shaquille O'Neal, 32. Chris Paul, just a walking double-double in the series. Like we're saying, 24 and 12. Melo, 23. Westbrook, 12 and 6. And Pierce with 11. MJ, 36 and 5. I mean, what do you expect at this point? Now he actually has hit 35. Or no, wait, because he had that 34 in game 2. And then 38 was in game 1. So he still needs 35 or more. But 30 or more, I guess he has hit. So he did do that in the Wizards. He was just 1 point off from being 35 because he got 34 on that one game. But Kemp with 17. Kemp's definitely overperformed our expectations as well, too. Scottie Pippen, 13 and 6. And Pat Ewing at 18 and 10. Or 8 and 10. Hey, yo, 18 and 10 is a little bit different. But 8 and 10, he's been serviceable. You know, he's been getting, I guess, cooked by Shaq on defense. But maybe serviceable on offense? I don't know. Key takeaways. Team B thrives when CP3 scores aggressively. I mean, as he went. I don't know. Is that ChatGPT saying CP3 should have taken more field goals over the course of his career? But I think for the most part, he played it pretty great. Seems like he knew what he was doing. Game 5, Team A legacy mode. MJ going for the 7th ring, 7th donation check in this charity game series. I don't know. Jordan demands the ball late. Less deferring. Yeah, that would make sense. Hakeem feared in 2-man actions with MJ. Kemp attacks Melo relentlessly on the glass, and CP3 slows tempo to limit MJ runs. Shaq plays deeper drop to protect foul trouble, and Pierce takes primary MJ assignment for toughness. So if we had better 3-point shooting, you know, we could take advantage of those Shaq drops, but maybe MJ in the mid-range and the pull-ups will be what helps there. Of course, sets the tone immediately with those things. Attacking mismatches. Hakeem hits 2 smooth hooks. Team A looks locked in defensively. The old guys are there to play, chat. 32 to 25 at the end of the first. I'm sure the desperation for Team B will respond as they do with physicality. Shaq powers Ewing through for back-to-back dunks. Melo gets hot from the mid-range. Westbrook brings energy but misses a few key finishes. Oh, chat. You hate to see him do it dirty like that, but Westbrook's flying in at the basket and just can't quite get a layup to go. Hey, yo. The story of our guy Sacramento Westbrook, I guess. It is what it is. Sometimes just wrong place, right time, wrong place, right time. That's what they always say about Sacramento Westbrook. But third quarter becomes a heavyweight Jordan versus Shaq matchup. It was them dominating the third quarters in each of this game, so I guess it all comes to pause ahead in this one. Jordan scores 15, Shaq with 12, CP3 keeps Team B within striking distance, and it's a 2-point game going into the fourth. Tension everywhere. Pippen hits a huge cutting dunk. CP3 drills a deep pull-up three, and Shaq ties it with a hook at 2:10. Final 2 minutes. Jordan isolates Pippen. Step back, good. Hakeem blocks Shaq at the rim. Oh, chat, an all-time highlight. Hey, yo, a little spin maybe. Trying to turn around for the dunk, and Hakeem just rejects it. Says no, no, no. Hey, yo, you see the highlight level stuff. Kemp offensive rebound, put back dunk. Final possession. CP3 tries a pull-up. Oh, chat, the word tries. Hey, yo, it is what it is. It's short. Shout out. Oh, wait, is it the shot? Is it CP3? IT, cut that out. That's mean. We don't want to say that. The jumper is unfortunately short on the pull-up. It is what it is. And Team A wins 111-104. So is it 3-2 or 3-1 on the series? Is that the championship? Did they win the ring? Did they get the donation for their charity? MJ with 44. He gets better with time, chat. Hey, yo. It is what it is. He's just taking this all personally at this point. Hakeem with 24 and 15. Kemp with 16 and 11. Pippen doing the same things. Ewan doing the same thing as well. Shaq, 34 and 17. Paul with his double-double. Melo couldn't quite get to 20. Maybe they needed Melo to be more in like a 25-point-a-game range. And unfortunately, Portland, Carmelo Anthony can only give you about 20, 22. It is what it is. So, yeah, 3-2 on the series. Jordan has clearly separated himself as best closer. Yeah, that could definitely be. Even still, Wizards Jordan going out there and balling out. Game 6. Will the Team Jordan, Team A, Team Nike, I guess it's just Team Jordan as well, too. Will Team Jordan take down... Is this Shaq back then Team Reebok? I don't know. I don't know what the other brand matchup is here, but ultra aggressive CP3 plus Shaq. Spam early. Melo hunts mismatches against Kemp and Pippen. We've got Westbrook unleashed as downhill attacker. No hesitation. Team A closeout mindset. Jordan trusts Hakeem early. Saves legs for late. Oh, Pippen plays point forward, stretches to very looks. Ooh, that's a new adjustment for Game 6. Pippen at the top of the key, making moves with the offense. I don't know. Jordan's been scoring 45 a game, so maybe we just have him take care of everything in this closeout game. I don't know. But Ewing purely used as a bruiser on Shaq. So we're like, Ewing, if you have to foul out and go 4 on 5, it doesn't matter because Shaq's already putting up 35 a game. So he might as well just not have a defender on him anyways. We'll see. We'll use the space. But Team B plays with urgency. Westbrook attacks in transition. Melo hits 2 early jumpers. And Shaq dominates the paint before Hakeem settles in. So, if this game goes to a Game 7, anything could happen. Anything could happen in Game 7. Team B up 5. Up 6. We've got second quarter. CP3 orchestrates a near-perfect quarter as well. Pick and roll mastery. Timely pull-up, 0 turnovers. Jordan scores, but Team A can't string stops together. That happens when you're 40, chat. Sometimes the defense is just a sieve. 66-56. Team B is winning. Third quarter, Team A makes a push. Jordan scores 10 quick points. Hakeem blocks Shaq twice and sparks a run. And Pippen hits a corner 3. The lead shrinks fast. Team B, 94-88. Still not bad. Still not bad. They'll take it going into the fourth quarter. I think that's the best spot they've been in the entire series, honestly. Every possession is a battle in the fourth quarter. Shaq muscles in 2 huge buckets. Jordan responds with impossible fades. With 2 minutes left, Team B leads by 3. Final minute, CP3 shakes a pick and roll, hits a clutch floater. Jordan answers with a pull-up. Last possession, Jordan contested 3 off the back of the rim, and Westbrook seals it with 2 free throws. So as much as MJ has been the best closer, he's also had 2 opportunities now to close out the series and lost them. They would have been at 4 wins if he had hit one of those other game winners. But no, we're in a Game 7. And we lost our 25 for 25 pickup game because Steph Curry missed 3 game-winning three-pointers. Missed maybe even 4. I'm not sure. Missed them all. It doesn't matter. But in different games, not in one game. Just every opportunity at the end of the game was Steph Curry missed a game winner. Steph Curry missed a game winner. So it lost us a series. It is what it is. And I guess we're not rooting for anybody here, but we'll see if MJ is able to close it out or if the other team is, of course, making their miraculous comeback. Chris Paul, is that finally his first turnover of the series? Hey, yo, 26 and 12. He's got 100 assists and 1 turnover on the entire series. Melo at 22. Westbrook 18. Yeah, Shaq dominant. Jordan finally doesn't get to 40. Hey, yo. 39-5. Hakeem 23, 14 and 5, and Kemp with 15 and 10. But series 3-3, game 7, chat. Hey, yo, you know ChatGPT is gonna get the drama. It's gonna make sure it gets the ratings and the maximizes the TV dollar for everybody. So of course it's gonna script out a 7-game series. Hey, if anything, this is indication to why maybe some of the playoff stuff has been so good. ChatGPT is like, yeah, 7 games every time. It is what it is. All-time classic on the line. We've got MJ, Hakeem, core. Everything runs through Jordan late. Hakeem anchors the defense. No doubles on Shaq unless forced. Pippen prioritizes disruption over scoring. CP3 controls every half-court possession, and Shaq attacks early while tests whistle. So Melo spaced weak side for bailout shots. First quarter, nerves early, missed jumpers, heavy defense. Jordan scores 10 of A's first 14. Shaq answers with brute force inside. Team A is up 2. CP3 steadies the game. Mid-range pull-ups. Perfect timing with Shaq. Westbrook gives energy off cuts. Hakeem counters with elite footwork. 52-50. Team B! Team B has stormed in front of the lead. CP3, we're helping you out over here. CP3, call in. I mean, you're about to win against Jordan in the finals. How does it feel? Pause. Hey, yo, how does it feel to finally win a ring? The best basketball of the series. Oh, the third quarter of the game. The third quarters have been miraculous, chat. Jordan hits 3 straight tough jumpers. Pippen strips Westbrook twice. Oh, the Westbrook turnover is costly. Shaq dominates the glass. Second chance. Third quarter. Again, we had Team B storm back at the second half. So the third quarter. Team B up. Oh, Team A up 1. Jordan, he's going into the fourth quarter of the lead. Even if it is 1, can he close it out? He's been at 40 a game for the series. He's got to go crazy. Melo hits a contested jumper. Hakeem blocks Shaq at the rim. CP3 drains a late pull up to tie it at 96. It's been a brutal game, chat. It's been a brutal game. The scoring has slowed. The scoring has slowed down. Hey, yo. Jordan fadeaway over Pierce. We're getting too excited to get to the Jordan shots. Good. Shaq drop step dunk. Good. Jordan pump fake drive and 1. Oh, chat, the refs have been quiet this series. Not a lot of foul calls. So the first foul call in the final minute of Game 7. Hey, yo, they really waited. It is what it is. Pause. CP3 finds Melo for a corner jumper. Good! Jordan isolates step back jumper. 12 seconds left. Good! Hey, yo, it's the opposite of the Cavs-Warriors series. Everything's going in. Pause. All the shots are being made. The offense is elite. Jordan is out here and ones, mid-range. Just nobody can stop him. Oh, chat, CP3. He missed a jumper at the end. He could have won a title. He could have won it all. Once again, ChatGPT. CP3 on ChatGPT. He's joking. Hey, yo. It is what it is. He tried. I mean, is that a heave? So that's with 4 seconds left to heave? He could have got to midcourt. A timeout and advanced the ball? They couldn't have gotten an inbound there? Who's the coach for Team CP3? I don't know. Final score, Team A, 104-107. 4-3. Team A wins. Jordan scores 40 a game. Wizards, Jordan, 42% in clutch minutes. Game-winning bucket in Game 7. Hakeem, the defense. Shaq, the dominant interior force. CP3, the floor general. We need box score. We need averages. Averages for the series. What were people putting up for numbers? Can you go back and do the math? ChatGPT. 7-game averages. Okay, yeah, here we go. Jordan, 39.1. 39, 5, and 4. And 2 steals a game. 30-plus scored in all 7 games. It took over in the fourth quarter. That mattered. Hakeem, 22 and 14. Again, really being generous for... I guess they're all playing each other, so who knows? Maybe they would just... You know, maybe it would even out to just... They would all put up good stats. I don't know, but... Kemp with 16 and a half. 10, basically a double-double for Sean Kemp. Yeah, silent but critical impact. Shout out. Basically, you know, one of the winning the series the type guys. I guess everybody in this case, if it's only 5 guys. But defensive engine, disrupted for Scottie Pippen, disrupted Westbrook all series. Secondary playmaking, stabilizing offense. 13 a game. We had him at 7 assists as well, too. 13 and 7. That would be like a fine Scottie Pippen series, I would assume. We can go back and check, but 7 assists seems quite nice. Pause. We've got 8 points and 9 rebounds. for Patrick Ewing, and he got a block a game. Sacrifice stats for toughness. Did all the dirty work. You know, you got Shaq on the other end putting 33, 16, and 2 blocks a game. 1 rebounding battle in nearly every game. Could not be single-handedly covered, as you would expect. CP3, the real bright spot of the series. You know, went toe-to-toe with MJ in the playoffs. I don't know if he was as good as John Stockton in the series. I think, you know, was he a little better? I don't know. I guess, did Jordan never even went to a Game 7, I think, in the finals. So this would have been the first time in the finals. CP3, the only person in history to ever take Jordan to a finals in Game 7. You can say that as fact because it happened here on the REMINGTOM pod in an alternate timeline. You know, this is just alternate timelines. Just we're creating variant timelines out here. It is what it is. We're just chaos in the multiverse. But, yeah, best floor general in the series. Controlled pace. Minimal turnovers under pressure. Melo with 19 in 5. Tough shot maker, provided spacing, but liability on defense at the power forward? No, Chad, he's locked in for this series. Melo, big, strong guy. Hey, yo, he's fine if he's locked in. So, like we said, he's locked in. He's good to go. Russell Westbrook at 16, 7, and 6. Energy and transition pressure. Turnovers hurt in close games. Best games came attacking off the ball. Pierce, 10 and 4. Toughest defensive assignment. Oh, he was on MJ? Oh, Chad, that was why MJ was cooking. Hey, yo, Wizards Pierce was just getting cooked by Wizards MJ. Oh, I didn't even realize the Wizards correlation there. It should have been Pierce and MJ then on the same team. Hey, yo, with the 2 Raptors guys and then maybe another Wizards guy. I don't know. We messed that up. I'm not sure. But once again, Jordan wins. It is what it is. Is the post-credit scene a 40-year-old LeBron in the next charity game? I'm not sure. It's the Space Jam charity game crossover. Oh, this could have been a Space Jam type of game as well, too, I guess. We'll see. I don't think Space Jam's on the schedule for this year. What year? Is that 92? Or is that later, like 96? What year did Space Jam drop? 2021? Oh, yeah, 96 was Space Jam. So, yeah, we will, I guess. Oh, that is for this year. What day is IT? What year is Space Jam? What day is Space Jam out for? November 10th? November. We'll be revisiting Space Jam, so I guess we'll be simulating it then. I guess 96 MJ was not Wizards MJ, so we don't have to worry about going back to Wizards MJ there. But shout out. I guess when it still matters, he can go back into the time machine and drop 40 a game for you, even if it is Wizards and MJ that we are having to worry about. So, hey, yo, chat. There we go. Time Machine Tuesdays, the first, I guess, of many. Who knows? I guess the first of who knows how many simulations that we can run for the lineup stuff. And it doesn't always, I guess, have to be basketball, but the basketball ones are fun. So, you know, maybe we'll double back there. Who knows? But we'll be right back. One more quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap up the live stream show on a Tuesday night. So stay with us. We'll be back. Okay, chat, this is not good. Houston is storming back on San Antonio right now, so I don't know if we don't lock into that game and not pay attention to that. But Lakers, Denver is also overlapping the start because if we remember correctly, the basketball hoop was broken to start the Spurs game. And oh, Reed Shepherd with a three makes it a 3-point game here. The crowd is on their feet. Like we said, this was the way it was going to start the game, so I think that they've organized the rims. And that's the Spurs rim they're playing on right now. I think is the one they were fixing. Oh, Reed Shepherd stole the ball from Harrison Barnes. I don't know if that had anything to do with the broken basket, but it was a good play. And the block from Harrison Barnes, unfortunately, nobody else hustled back, and they were able. The Rockets got the rebound and were able to finish the drive. But yeah, I don't know if we can actually launched an investigation into what happened before this game. You know, the Rockets are known for sending complaints to the league, so maybe somebody should do it to them if they have a weird start to a game like what happened here. But, you know, Reed Shepherd's, of course, impact on this team has been, you know, real here this season, needing it with Van Fleet and needing it, you know, you need it, pause, like for the double reason that, you know, you're thin now down a guy for the season, and you're just going to need somebody on the roster to step up and take minutes, you know, but also take that role as well too. And, you know, he is a guy that can do that. But also just from the sort of team competency angle of they drafted him really highly in the team talent evaluation of all that. And you just want your, you know, your top 5 draft picks to be guys that can play. So, you know, again, maybe you've had guys that are veterans that are going to be taking minutes there, but you're going to need it, you know, just because, again, those are valuable things, that valuable assets to the team. And are they looking at the rims again? Hey, yo, Udoka's pointing at it. They're zooming the camera in on it right now. So, hey, yo, we're going to delay the game for this again? The equipment guys. Oh, no. Udoka's pointing at, I think, the other basket now at this point. I don't know if this is the one that was broken. Oh, it did. Yeah, it really bent, Chad. It's back going. It's really twisting down to the right again. And it's springing back into place. But yeah, when the guy dunked on it from the right side, the whole unit that was actually attached to the backboard shifted down as well too. I mean, hey, yo, you know, I don't know if you need us to explain modern rim technology. Can we do that here live on YouTube? But with the breakaway rims and stuff, you know, there's obviously a springy nature that they have just in general, but not the part that's supposed to be connecting it to the actual backboard supposed to be. Because I guess then could the rim fall off again? I'm sure there's more bolts than just that. Hey, yo, but the ladder is back out, chat. We've got the ladder, and it is I'll say it's a shorter ladder than some ladders. Again, like the ladder that Giannis tipped over, like that ladder, and I feel like some of those ladders almost go up to the rim itself, just again the top of the ladder. So you could be maybe second to top step and still be, you know, up there quite a ways. This one, the top of the ladder goes to the bottom of the net. So this guy's like got a lot of, you know, not a lot of ladder to stabilize himself on when he's up there working. Maybe he likes the freedom. I don't know. He's just a risk taker. He's just the crowd. He's a stunt guy. We got Tom Cruise over here fixing the rims, chat. Hey, yo, what's going on? Oh, no, he's just tall. He doesn't need a big ladder. Hey, yo, pause. I guess only 10 feet. So we got the level back out. Was he taking a picture of it to see what the level looks like? Oh, yeah, see, he won't. He's not unwilling to go up the ladder all the way. That's why he can't fix the rim, chat. We need to get a good ladder. Are they going to delay the game? They're talking to are they going to, like, postpone the game? They're talking to the ref. Okay, wait, we're going to have to follow along here and see what's happening. What's the picture for? Hey, yo, is he going to post it? Can he, like, print it out and sell it on eBay? What's going to happen? I don't know. But are they going to, like, go in and diagnose it? They just took the ladder back. So they just brought it out to take a picture of it being level. Was that, like, for insurance purposes? They're like, we captured it at being level at 9 minutes and 21 seconds in the game. What's happening? It's not even really level, though. Again, it's bending to the right, but the level bubble is slightly to the left. It was probably like 5% to the left, maybe 10. I don't know. But they're not delaying the game. Hey, yo, I don't know what that was. I mean, Udoka getting a free timeout. Oh, Capella trying to dunk on the Spurs. Would he have made the dunk if the rim was in place? I'm not sure. Hey, yo. But Wemby now attacks, kicking out. Can the Spurs use the stoppage to reset? Oh, a missed three. Hopefully they haven't just gone cold here in the second half a little bit. Keldon Johnson's energy on the rebounds here is felt, of course, as they knock it out of bounds, but not quite able to secure it. Was that Castle? Did Castle block that? Hey, yo, I was going to say, Wemby was there for the rebound, but it didn't look like he dunked on Wemby. It looked like he actually went up over the top of the guy. So, Capella's tall, but I don't know if he could quite do that. He would still have to probably dunk around Wemby. Oh, and Amen Thompson steals it from the Spurs. You do see, the dribble ahead. Hey, yo. He threw it ahead and ran under it. Pretty crazy. Basically throwing a pass to himself. But the activity from the Rockets defense, and you would assume that like the Thunder as well too would give them the same problems there, but they really just haven't. And the ability to turn it, I guess Caruso did and stuff, so they have, especially in that Christmas Day game. I take it back, I misspoke, but the ability to affect them when they're dribbling and get the steals and the ball handling that way, so San Antonio is susceptible to that. So Houston is, again, fully capable of that type of athletic transition, get turnovers in that type of way defense. And that is what is fun with their matchup against OKC as well, too. Because obviously, again, San Antonio does have that two-way play as well. But I don't know if they quite as directly play as fast as some of those teams play. Like Castle, again, is a great at getting to the basket, getting downhill. But he just is kind of working at his own pace a lot of the times. And, even a semi-transition situation, like, there'll be a sort of controlled nature to all of this stuff. Like even this drive right here, turns into kind of a sketchy pass, honestly. The reset pick and roll, they get a foul on Amen Thompson. Wemby, he's definitely flopping, but you got to once a game at least. Fourth quarter, the refs will give you that. You're the face of the league. You got to know your capabilities. Amen Thompson, not doing too much. Not really even probably knocking Wemby in the direction that he fell. But regardless, it is what it is. They're taking Wemby out, so is that a foul on Wemby? What's happening here? 0 for 10 for field goals in the quarter. Yikes. Mitch Johnson. We're going to be run some shooting drills after this. Free throws. Something. 100 jump shots. 100 makes. 500 makes. What's the number for everybody? I mean, at any point, if you're 0 for 10 in a game, for a stretch, we get to the basket finally. An easy layup. You love to see it. Is that Harper? With a little bit of a trimmed haircut situation. We got Champagny in the game. Cornette in for Wemby. So I mean everybody kind of going with the fresh cut, of course, on the team. But then of course, not quite everybody committing to the bald look. I mean, if Castle, is it the braids? If you got rid of the braids, Chad, that'd be kind of a dramatic. That'd be a dramatic. I mean, Fox had the dramatic switch for his haircut when he went from the braided fro situation to just the short buzz. And, short-haired Fox, the era of short-haired Fox, it is, I don't know if it's a positive or not, but it's been a really good productive DeAndre Fox. Like this version of him as a playmaker as well too in San Antonio as just a leader of the team and a quote-unquote veteran guard with just it being younger guys is, I think, a fun, just version of the players when they are shifting into these different versions of their career and have these, different looks. And you have that sort of young peak of the powers, super athletic, crazy fast De'Aaron Fox flying around with the afro, Kentucky De'Aaron Fox. And now, San Antonio De'Aaron Fox. And I think again, we were curious about what that would all look like with the contract extension. And I guess it's all the contract stuff. It's year to year. We get all that. But, like in terms of could these guys be traded and what the happiness levels is and all that stuff. But it does seem like now there is at least a recipe for him to fit into the San Antonio system and the roster and what they're building there, more so than just him being a number and a star player that they're paying and all that different stuff. Like, again, it makes sense, the chemistry, him on this team. So it's like, yes, okay, we want this team to be together for a long time. And Harper, again, the one-legged jumper. Harper taking over in the fourth quarter, Chad. I mean, you just kind of say things like that casually, but it's like, do you realize what is happening in a game? It's like the Rockets are, again, Reed Shepherd. Like you gotta admit what's happening here. Like these teams are playoff teams. These teams are the best in the Western Conference, basically. You know, again, obviously Denver. We know the teams. This is the class of the West, and Reed Shepherd is out here performing and being a dead eye for three. Like I'm scared of Reed Shepherd from three now. We can't leave him open. He keeps this guy's he can't miss. He is automatic. And you see him, you know, once he's comfortable, his form, Chad, he is, you know, he is fundamentals, Chad. They're locked in. Reed Shepherd, AO. But yeah, he is, you know, he had that projected, you know, perimeter threat in the draft, and it was, I think, because of maybe the shot selection, and there is a little bit of, you know, he does have the confidence and the willing to take the shots. Like it was maybe just him dialing it in there a little bit to start his career. But you see, again, the quickness and the confidence at which he plays with now from the three-point line, like he is a real threat. You know, he's going to be impacting playoff series here. You just have to admit it. Like he can be a part of this team. And it's like, okay, Harper is out here like taking over the game against a playoff team in Houston. And again, like with the guys in San Antonio, has like Harper, the number 2 pick. Like this is a guy that can maybe do this right now. Reed Shepherd off the dribble, just cooked him though. Hey, yo. I mean, he's got a year on him, so is that the excuse? I don't know, but I mean, you just gotta, you know, tip the beanie to pause. You gotta tip the hat to Reed Shepherd. I mean, an incredible jumper gives the Rockets the 1-point lead, and now the air ball on the other end. Oh, it's a pass to Wemby. It's just a pass. Or is that Keldon Johnson? Hey, yo, the bald haircuts now. We're getting them confused. Keldon Johnson with the layup. Wemby, get him back in the game. What's Cornette doing in there? Did he foul out? 4 minutes left. Do we check the box score? But Reed Shepherd, well, I mean, again, the takeover. Reed Shepherd takeover. Durant's not even in the game. How many points does Reed Shepherd have in this fourth quarter? Hey, yo, this is ridiculous. Can somebody break the basketball hoop so we can cool this guy down again? Hey, yo, we might not be able to finish this. Pause. This is ridiculous. What's going on? I mean, I guess, again, you know, it was good defense. So what are we going to say? Like, the man just hit a great jumper. What's he at right now for the game? 20? He's leading in scoring. Champagny at 27? We might have to look up Champagny's numbers this year. He's been cooking. He's been great for the team. He is one of those guys that, you know, you can't waste a season like this when it pertains to winning a title. And, you know, like, seriously, like, you got to have a guy as a role player, you know, little bit of a Chad, Julian, what are we doing over here? You need a guy as a role player, overperforming his salary a little bit, maybe a little bit more comfortable being a little bit more inconsistent night to night with minutes, and, you know, depending on what sort of the matchups is and what his, you know, reliability is on that night. But, you know, you've got him, and I guess his season numbers, you know, is maybe doesn't match his bigger performances as well too. He can be a little bit of a heat check guy, for sure, but you need his heat checkiness as well too, on just all that stuff lining up, like we're saying, to work out. Because say the Spurs do, you know, not even necessarily even win the title, but if they're in the Western Conference Finals and Champagny's like a double-digit playoff a game guy, I guess we could do a double check his contract. But that's the type of guy that then gets 17. And, you know, now obviously the new NBA, you know, you maybe have to think about that stuff a little bit differently, but, you know, the type of guy that just definitely gets a raise in salary as well too. And then you have to, you know, be cautious about where you're, you know, building your team, and then where you're obviously, again, like we're saying in the modern NBA, you know, having to make tough decisions with the second apron. So it's like, you know, how realistic is it that you can have all this talent on one team at one time? And, you know, obviously you can still kind of pay for it and then lock it in, and then just not be able to make any moves as well too. I guess that's also an option. But like I'm saying, you know, realistically, how long can this group of talent be assembled for? And especially, like we're saying now, with the rules for the team. Hey, yo, chat. This Nike commercial is a shout out. Great, looks like great products. Looks like they're doing great work over there. Oh, it's the Nike Skims collab. Okay, it is what it is. We're locked back in. Shout out. NBA is on. We're here to talk about NBA. Do we go for Suns Sixers and talk about that while we wait for Spurs to return? The Bulls, hey, yo, landed to the Clippers tonight. Pause. Shout out. But just in time. Oh, Wemby, the highlights of the blocks on Sven. There's Reed Shepherd attacking the basket with a little like reverse layup situation. A full court pass to Durant. How many assists is he at right now? Okay, 4 assists. So can we count him out for a triple double yet or not? I don't know. At least he's not going to do that. I don't know. We got Sven though is going to do it. He's got 18, 12, and 8. I mean, classic. Durant at 18, 4, and 6. So we get Wemby and Durant checked back in the game. 4 minutes, the Stars, Fox as well too. Fox navigating, finds Cornette right away. So his veteran presence well-deserved and well-needed. Hopefully his defense on Reed Shepherd can step up as well too. Hounds him at half court. Reed Shepherd gives it up, so he's going to run around. I'm just locked in on Reed Shepherd now at this point. He can't. And plus he's just the hottest guy. Well, pause. He's the most in rhythm player on the court right now. So obviously that person just in general is somebody that, in the given moment is the person that you're going to have to pay attention to. But Durant, like we're saying, is back now as well too. And then you get his 3-point consistency. Like he probably does at this point have more potential to give you that perimeter consistency that just, maybe even those bursts of scoring compared to what Van Fleet can give you. Van Fleet, defensively really great. A solid point guard for the league, but I think Reed Shepherd does just give you a little bit more offensive burst at the end of the day if he does, unlock what he can be as a player. And Jabari Smith now as well too, with good play for the Rockets now up 2. Champagnie, the lazy pass. Cornette, fortunately, the lazy pass drew a foul. It is what it is, but a little bit of a risky bounce pass. Cornette, the hustle to get back to it. Then you got Jabari Smith kind of unintentionally whacking him in the face. Hey, whoa. You got him kind of making contact with the face there. Yeah, Jabari Smith, corner 3. Champagnie on the closeout, but they're definitely going to need those in the clutch minutes this year. Durant finding him there as he drives right. Fox again. Cornette, pick and roll. The pull-up jumper. Fox, the closer, chat. Hey, do we have Sacramento Westbrook and Sacramento Fox? Sacramento Fox is interesting as well, too. That could be just like a lineup somewhere. Is that a band? So is this a boy band? Sacramento Fox, Sacramento Westbrook, the Sacramentos? I don't know. But it probably could be several things. It could be a gang. Remember, like a mafia? The Sacramento Westbrooks? The Sacramento Foxes? I don't know. Hey, maybe not that. But Sven Goons. The Sacramento Sven Goons. I think we lost it. But he's going to the foul line here to take the lead back. The Fox jumper did tie the game. 2:35 left. So we've got Wemby with 4 fouls. Hey, I was wondering why they were, and not just trying to exhaust him in the regular season, but, you got to maybe use him for as much as the fourth quarter pause as you can there in the closing minutes. So the 4-minute sub back in does make sense there. Durant gets affected by the closeout from Wembanyama on that corner 3 attempt. And then Wemby on the other end with the pull-up jumper. Not able to get it to go. Ayo, shout out Wemby. Cornette again with the offensive rebound. His hustle, again, important. And Champagnie with the corner 3. So that's 2 possessions in 1 there that Fox didn't touch the basketball. And he's got to be a guy that I think you have to find it back to in these clutch minutes. Again, he is the one that can settle it down or kind of control the pace. If it does need pushed, then he will obviously take care of that. Hey, but Smith, chat. I mean, if the role players are stepping up tonight with, respectful term, if the other guys are stepping up tonight, then, it's going to be tough. But Jabari Smith, 7 in the fourth quarter. Again, Reed Shepherd, a couple of big jumpers there. Now it's just shifted. Jabari Smith is the one hitting big jumpers. And now, again, Steph Castle, Wemby the mid-range. Oh, again, just a little bit off. Where's Fox standing around? Maybe a little more off-ball activity on a possession late in the game. 90 seconds less. 90 seconds or less. But if you get a stop here, you can still tie it up. Sven Goon, pick and roll with Durant. Oh, it's terrifying. Durant somehow's got Cornette on him. Somehow it works. The Cornette contest. He didn't even get an arm up, but Durant missed. He thought it was Wemby. He sensed Wemby around somewhere. Now we're giving him too much credit. Fox again drives. Oh! Trying to draw the foul. Trying to get Fox credit here, and that was kind of a little bit of a rushed, probably a C- shot. Great, to be honest, but hey, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. We trust our guys. We have faith that our San Antonio Spurs are, they can make the right plays. At the end of the day, Sven Good, Cornette, see, that time he contested and he made the shot. So that's why you Cornette contest. It's just karma. You're just like, if I don't contest this, he's going to miss. It is what it is. But unless, obviously it's like Steph or something. Wemby for 3. Oh, Wemby's like 0 for 4 in this quarter. Oh, a bad close to the game, chat. It is what it is. It's a young team. It's the regular season, so we can just be upset about this and not have to be bummed that, it's like, oh, now we're down 3-1 in the playoffs. It's over. But, those are the games that you can't have in the playoffs, is these kind of rushed, lazy fourth quarter. Oh, Sven Goon probably should have actually got the foul call there on Fox. He did get him on the elbow on the jumper, but, that kind of like kicking, your legs around, flying around jump shot type of situation. I feel like that's like 50-50, I think, on whether they're going to call that, a strong take to the basket where you absorb context. I think a little bit of a different scenario, but then, now and I don't know, maybe Fox thought if Shea would get this call, then I'd get this call, but I don't know, Shea gets his own calls as well too. So Wemby out of the game with 18 seconds left. I guess Houston is only up 4, so not over, but Durant got it, not Reed Shepherd. Okay, so I guess what's better in 25? Or 26? We'll adjust at some point. How many days into the year does it take you to say 2026? Let us know. Damn it, Remind Pod on Instagram. How many days into the year before you adjust to saying the year? I feel like for the month, I mean, obviously, like the month you adjust pretty quickly. But I'm just thinking like dating stuff at like work and stuff, you just move along with the days. You're just like, 01, 02, every now and then you'd be like, oh, wait a second, it's actually, 01 or whatever. But, getting the year locked in, I feel like it, I don't know, January, by the time February rolls around, you got to know the plays. You got to know it's 2026. You just got to be present. It is what it is. But 14 seconds left. Spurs, 3-point field goal by the quarter. 0 for 11 for 3 points in the fourth quarter. Wemby with a couple of those, but then, he had a mid-range jumper in there. Not getting really to the basket for any of the shots in the fourth quarter is tough. Again, we wanted Castle to pass it, but if Castle was driving for that little hop step, then, that's pretty reliable there. Maybe he takes that once or twice a quarter, once or twice in the fourth quarter, just because. But, again, we're right here with this team. We're right here. We can be as talented defensively and from a shot-making standpoint. We've proven we can do this in any of the games. This is the separating factor at these points. It's execution in these moments. It's, coaching and playmaking and game planning and the little separating things that are going to win you these games, because they can win this game. Are they immensely, are they equally talented as the Rockets and the Thunder, and then the Denver Nuggets with Jokic? Like, all of those teams could be on a similar playing field enough from the basketball talent, like we're saying, but it is going to be, those final minutes. And that's why Jokic is the terrifying guy at the end of the day, because that for the most part, he should execute in those good, in the clutch minutes when you need him. And he'll obviously be amazing in the non-clutch minutes as well, too. There's just that certainty there. I mean, obviously that's, basketball superstars. But it is the, cleanliness to which you play the game to some degree in these points. Again, from an execution standpoint, that is going to separate you from these other title contending teams. And this game has not been that, I would say against OKC as well too. Like, they were fortunate in some of those games that they did have bigger leads throughout the course. That Christmas Day game was a really good clutch closeout game, but Caruso was flying around, almost made a play at the end. What, he had like that free throw, like almost dunked the free throw attempt back in, and it got fouled and almost like could have tied the game and sent it to overtime. But I think the league just kind of wanted to give the Spurs the win there as well too, so they just let the last play go. But it's like, they probably could have still lost that game if the Thunder had made a couple more plays. But maybe again, not like perfect execution. So that is now like an actual thing. If we are doing a power ranking of these Western Conference teams, and as good as San Antonio is against OKC, like we're saying, I still would trust, Shea's ability to execute in those fourth quarters as much as literally anybody in the league or any single thing in the league. So maybe the Western Conference hierarchy shifts a little bit as the Rockets win this one, and 14-3 at home as well too. So they are gonna be a bummer to play there if they have a higher seed in the Western Conference like they should. But 12-5 up 9, I guess 7-8 or 12-9 at 5, 7-8 on the ESPN up 5. So the Spurs haven't hit a miracle shot in the time that we are delayed. Tari Eason, Finney Smith get some of the defenders checked into the game, and of course, like was Wemby back in now as well too. Harrison Barnes on the inbound, throwing dimes. Is Fox gonna be receiving? Maybe Fox inbounding, so running around the Fox Castle screen, and then the inbound to Wemby. A turn and fire Wemby 3. Oh, way off. Way off. It is what it is. 0 for 12 from 3 in the fourth quarter. We'll get him next time, chat. We'll get him next time, right? Playoffs, that's when it counts. We want to lose the regular season game so we can be motivated going into the playoffs. 111 to 104. They're making the free throws. It is what it is. Okay, that's it. We can wrap it up there, pause, after a loss, We got the win over Indiana in college basketball, so shout out. I guess that's the performance we needed to feel good about our Michigan Wolverines again. Shout out there. And, shout out to San Antonio as well, too. Going toe-to-toe with these teams. It's great. Great time to be a Spurs fan. We're not complaining. But we'll be back Friday for the next live stream. Thanks for everybody that jumped on, of course, the last couple of days. Had a nice little 3-day run here. Rem and Sam Pod, playoffs, college championship, and, NBA Tuesday night. So we'll be back. Typical, non-crazy event schedule like a national championship game or something, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday. So join us for all. We'll be here, next Tuesday, and we'll be here Friday, like we said as well too. So, stay hanging out, and we'll see y'all in a couple of days.